From Park Center High School in Brooklyn Park, it's CCX coverage of high school football on Friday night. I welcome everybody. Along with Bill Hunstock, I'm Joe Moline. Tony Seaman from the sidelines will be joining us later on this evening as the game goes on. But right now we're going to talk about the Park Center Pirates, who 0-1 are hosting the Richfield Spartans. And Bill, these two teams coming into this game both with a loss in their record, a game that they probably circled as a winnable game when they saw the schedules come out. This is a big game for both teams, even though we're only in this week number 2.
I think even in the second week, when you got a loss already on your books, you felt like you played a pretty good game. And both these teams, particularly Park Center, felt like they played a competitive game last week, and you think you're playing somebody that you really should beat. It's a tough game because the kids have to come out and execute. Both coaches, particularly Coach Paul Strong, have said, we need to execute. If we don't execute, we're not going to be very good. And they felt like that was their problem last week. So with Park Center particularly, they need to have a balanced offense. They need to be aggressive on the defense, and they need to be able to play and execute very well.
For the Richfield Spartans, it's a team that was 3-5 a year ago. Again, 0-1 this year to start off the season, and played against a De La Salle team that was probably looking to revenge a tough year last year, uncharacteristic of De La Salle, and they really took it to them. They put up 51 points in a 51-13 victory, so it was a tough loss for Richfield. These two teams combined gave up a combined 60 points in the second quarter. So both of them are looking back to that second quarter and that was the quarter that they wish they could have had back, and looking for a redemption here tonight.
Right, and Richfield was particularly plagued by turnovers. They had 2 or 3 turnovers in the second quarter, and they had short fields, and their defense really was kind of soft against the run, and they really need to step up and play well against the run. Last week, Park Center struggled with the running game, and Richfield needs to be competitive, be combative on the defensive line, and be aggressive and go after the running game and force Park Center to throw the ball.
For Park Center, it is a team that can throw the ball. Last week they struggled running the ball a little bit, although don't tell their coaching staff that. The stats indicated that they only ran the ball for less than a yard per carry, but they spread the ball and passed the ball quite effectively for over 200 yards. However, 2 of those throws ended up as pick sixes, and that really was the difference of the ball game. For them, they lost to a Cooper team that, let's say Coach Strong told us they don't want to play us again. Yeah, they lost by the score of 29-12, but they felt like they left Cooper off the hook. They'd love to see them again in the playoffs. So for Park Center, they feel pretty good tonight. They're coming in confidently, not feeling like they got beat last week, but rather feeling like some of their mistakes beat themselves. And this is a team that actually has big expectations, a team that only won a game a year ago, but they got a bigger offensive line, and there looks to be a lot of athletes out there running around on defense and offense.
Right, and the Richfield coaching staff particularly was concerned about the speed that Park Center has, and they've got a couple of running backs and a couple of receivers that are pretty quick and pretty agile. Their quarterback is a seasoned senior quarterback, Jamal Brown. He does a good job. If he can avoid the turnovers and avoid the interceptions, they could be very tough tonight.
All right, it's the Park Center Pirates, the Richfield Spartans, and an absolutely gorgeous night here in Minnesota. And it's Friday Night Football next on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
And with the power of live television, we are now live as Park Center opens up here on the kickoff return, where they take the ball out past the 20-yard line at about the 23 where they're marked down. First down and 10, first play of the game upcoming. Of course, high school football kicks off at 7 o'clock, and the anxiety and the anxiousness to get going here. They kicked off at 6:56 here tonight, and a lot of these teams not used to, I guess, kind of coordinating with live television.
There you go.
Teams in the Northwest Suburbs very lucky to have live television. Right off the bat here, some disorganization on the side of the Pirates. See, that's what happens when you start early, Pirates.
There you go.
They get too many men on the field or breaking the huddle.
Substitution, yeah.
Illegal substitution. 5-yard penalty, so they'll get marched back 5 yards. First penalty of the game, and they'll go down first down and 15 now from their own 18-yard line. And again, that just tells you why you wait till 7 o'clock. Get your ducks in a row and know who's on the field. So here comes the Pirates, home team with the ball to start off. I formation, and the handoff goes to the fullback right up the gut. That's to Hester as he gets the carry. On first down, it's just a gain of about 1 or 2 yards in that first down carry. And Park Center will be looking down, second down and long.
Yeah, not a great gain there, but not a poorly executed play. Pretty well defense by Richfield.
Richfield running a 3-4 defensive front. 2 middle linebackers there kind of pushed up, overlooking the guards. I formation again, 1 receiver to each side. Now they're going to go to the deep back on this handoff as he runs off tackle to the right side, but not much running room there. As a good job running that one down was the big defensive tackle there. Kamani Forrest makes that stop, the 300-pounder up front, as Forrest runs to the sidelines after making that second down stop. On the carry for the Pirates was their leading carrier coming into the season, Emmanuel Tamba. Tamba picks up 2 yards on that second down carry, but it's third down and 11 now. They have still not got back to the original line of scrimmage. So on third down and 11, they send 1 receiver wide to the near side, left side. I formation with the wing back on the right side. Handoff will go to that wing back on a sweep play. He finds a little bit of running room, tied up, and eventually taken down, finishing off the tackle for the Spartans. Coming up from the defensive back position there was Joel Schaefer finishing him off after a gain of 3 yards. So fourth down and 8 yards to go, and the punting unit's going to come on here for the Pirates. Low end over end punt. Hits at the 45-yard line. Rolls a tremendous roll there for the Pirates as it goes deep into Richfield territory. Not deep so much as it rolled 20 yards. Down at the 36-yard line now where the Spartans will take over. So not an ideal opening possession for this Pirates offense.
No, and I'm a little bit surprised they didn't throw the ball at least once during that sequence. I think that Coach Strong and his staff are, they're very interested in establishing the running game. They think they can run the football, and I think they didn't want to have any mistakes or any major problems deep in their own zone like that.
Richfield comes out of the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, and back to pass is Caleb Carlson. He tucks it, now he throws it underhanded, dangerous throw there. Schaefer makes the catch, but he wish he would not have, because it ends up being a 3-yard loss. If that ball just hits the turf, it's an incomplete pass. Second down and 10 upcoming, but instead they lose. Well, they're going to give him a 4-yard loss on that reception there to Schaefer.
Yeah, that was pretty well pressured by the Park Center defense. The Pirates really put some pressure on number 6, Caleb Carlson, the senior quarterback.
Carlson out of the shotgun, Javante Howard, the lone back. Howard picks up the blitzing linebacker on the left side, and Carlson looks down the field, throws it right into defensive coverage, and I do not know why that ball was intercepted. Perhaps the sun did play a factor. That one right through the hands of the safety for the Pirates. Take a look.
And I think, if we watch this real carefully here, it was almost caught by one of the other players, one of the other defenders and the receiver as well.
Blake Wilkins cannot believe he did not intercept that football. One of the defensive players to watch here for the Pirates. Let one get away there now. Third down and 14 to go. Carlson swings to the left side. Schaefer's second catch of the game. This one goes for positive yards. It's going to be a 7-yard gain. However, it's not going to be enough for a first down or to warrant a fourth down opportunity, I don't think. Let's see what happens. It looks like the punting unit is getting right. Same players on the field. Anthony Sanders will drop back in the punting position. Interesting formation here. They send 3 to the right side. Oh, a low snap there handled nicely by Sanders, but he gets it off cleanly, and the ball will bounce down inside the 30-yard line. It'll roll all the way down to the 24, and that's where it will be downed eventually by Javante Howard. So Park Center will take over at their own 24-yard line. A pair of 3-and-outs to begin the game here tonight.
Yeah, both defenses looking a little bit more aggressive than the offenses. Not a whole lot happening so far.
Well, Caleb Carlson for the Richfield Spartans comes out with 2 completions, but one goes for a loss, one for a gain, and ends up 2 for 2 with 3 yards in that opening drive, or 2 for 3 rather, as he threw that one incomplete pass. No rushing attempts for Richfield on their opening possession. Park Center, no passing attempts in their opening possession. Let's see what they do here. I formation, 1 receiver to each side. They're going to pitch it left side. Handoff goes to the left there, and running out to the wide side was Emmanuel Tamba. Tamba didn't get much running room right there, only picked up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half on that opening first down run.
And pretty nice, we see the run developing here, the toss sweep, and a pretty nice tackle by Emmanuel Blackshear, the corner for Richfield.
And Blackshear did a good job, kind of looked like he was blocked for a while, but eventually get off that wide receiver block. So here we go. Park Center out of the gun now here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left on the near side. And Tamba the lone back in the backfield. He rolls to right, finds Tamba, and Tamba's going to catch one, but it's going to be a big loss. You saw for the first time Jamel Brown open up to pass. He broke the pocket, rolled to his right, then threw it right to Tamba, who had Spartans covering him immediately following that reception.
You can see that it's very well covered by the Spartan defense. Linebacker number 54, Tommy Kim's, coming up and making a play.
Interesting play call there. I mean, he really brought the defense right to him. Brown did, and they ended up losing 6 yards on the play. So 3rd down and 15 to go now. As Brown out of the shotgun again, 2 receivers to each side. He's looking left, and he's going to overthrow his intended target there. Just couldn't quite connect with Nelson Flores, who looked to be open, but that ball was overthrown. And again, the punting unit coming on for Park Center. So it'll be the 2nd consecutive 3-and-out for the Pirates offense, and this time they went backwards and never did get back to that line of scrimmage.
No.
This time a good snap on that side. High end-over-end punt. This one going to land on the Park Center side of the 50. And again, a nice little Pirates bounce, except for he ran out of field over there on the right side. Goes out of bounds. And so the Spartans will take over as they increase their performance in terms of field position as they get the ball now at their own 45. We take a look at first-year head coach Chris Pulford for the Richfield Spartans. He spent 3 years as an assistant coach for Richfield, was a 2005 Richfield graduate, played quarterback for the Spartans back then played safety at Bethel University in the MIAC. A give to the left side there, nice little run and breaking a tackle at the 2nd level by Javante Howard, and it's going to be the biggest gain of the game so far for either squad, as Howard looks to pick up 7 yards on a 1st down carry.
Now we're going quick tempo here. Offense no huddle.
Carlson swings this one out to the right side, finds his receiver open. It's Anthony Sanders. Sanders takes it out into Park Center territory, gets across the 45-yard line, and we have our first down of the game as Richfield moves the chains.
Yeah, they've changed the tempo here a little bit by going with the no huddle, trying to give Park Center a little bit different look.
Here comes the give once again to Howard, and Howard gets off tackle. That play intended maybe to go a little bit more up the middle. He kicked it out to the right side, good vision, and he picks up 5 yards on that carry.
We can see a really nice jump cut there by number 21, Javon Howard, the running back, and again makes a nice move in the hole there.
Oh, Howard gets to that 2nd level, deked out 3 Pirates before he gets up to the 30-yard line before he's met by the secondary. But, wow, really left all kinds of under clothing from Riley Peterson on the field there as he beat the defensive end. Peterson comes in unblocked and does not even get a hand on him.
And breaks a tackle at about the 5-yard line, 5-yard spot.
Incomplete pass there from Caleb Carlson on 1st down and 10. So 2nd down and 10 now. 2 receivers to each side. Carlson out of the gun, gives it to Howard. Howard's got some running room up the middle once again. This time the Pirates converged on him a little bit better, but still it's going to be a decent gain as he picks up about 4 yards on 2nd down. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 here inside the 30-yard line, down to the 27-yard line of the Pirates. Spartans going very quick now. Oh, ball's on the ground. Carlson picks it up. He's under duress, and he's going to go down. So a big, untimely mistake there by Richfield. As that ball got put on the turf, it didn't look to be a bad snap. Carlson just had a hard time handling it.
Just had a hard time handling it. Bounced down on the floor, and boy, when that ball goes to the floor, it creates a lot of problems for that offense.
4th down and 13. Richfield to go for it. Carlson back to pass, looking deep down the left side. He's got a receiver open and into the end zone for a touchdown. Demetrius Coleman hooks up with Caleb Carlson for a 34-yard touchdown completion on 4th down and 13.
Yeah, that was really a nicely run route by number 7 Blackshear. Here we see him getting downfield, and it's well defended. Maybe a little bit of a push by Blackshear, but still a nice grab and pretty well defended by the Park Center corner.
I apologize, I had Blackshear on the reception there. What a play there for Richfield as they get on the scoreboard here first. Manuel Blackshear, a senior wideout for the Spartans, makes the play. Let's take another look.
I mean, you see, he was a single receiver on the left side of the offense. Nice ball, well-placed ball by Caleb Carlson. And Blackshear just gets himself in position to make the play, grabs it right at the goal line. It's a touchdown. I think the change of tempo by Richfield and going to a no-huddle look, I think that disassociated Park Center a little bit there for a few plays, and then the isolation of Emmanuel Blackshear on the defense one-on-one was the telltale for the touchdown.
Richfield misses the extra point, so it's 6-0 right now. But a big touchdown on 4th down and 13. The Spartans connect, and the Pirates are reeling a little bit here, and they need to do something offensively. A pair of 3 and outs.
Yeah, they need to really move the ball here.
Dino Garcia to kick off for the Spartans. It's a high end-over-end kick, and it's received at the 16-yard line. And he's got some running room, a good-looking run by Nelson Flores. Flores takes it out across the 30-yard line. Gonna mark him down at the 33.
We see that Flores does a nice job of finding the seam and getting upfield to get actually their best starting field position at the 34-yard line for Park Center.
Park Center will come out with Jamel Brown out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Blitz comes up the middle, and he's got to throw it off his back foot. And he's got a receiver down the sidelines, but he was unable to get a foot in bounds, so it's going to be an incomplete pass. Nice looking throw there under pressure. He threw that ball up for grabs, found his receiver breaking free, open on the sidelines, but Levante Parker, after making the catch, unable to come in bounds.
Yeah, it was just a tough grab for Parker to try to make. But that's the kind of play they need to execute. That was a nicely thrown and a caught ball, just not in bounds. But that's the kind of play they need. They need to stretch that defense a little bit.
Out of the shotgun again. 2 receivers each side. Brown gets away from some pressure, or does he? Now he gives it off to his running back. Good heads-up play, but it might end up being just a little bit better than it would have been if it was a sack. Tom was able to get maybe a couple more yards after that. I guess that's going to be considered perhaps a handoff or a pass, but we'll mark it. It was kind of a backward lateral, so I wonder if we have to give that a running play, as it did go backwards. So it's a running play.
It's a lateral.
Of minus, I think 10 yards.
Yep.
Not a play Tamba really wants to deal with, but.
No. And the linebacker, LaQuez Minor, came in, and he has not been blocked. They did not pick up that blitz at all. He came completely free and put a lot of pressure on Jamel Brown.
Here comes some more pressure. Brown throws it. There's the screen. Sets it up to Tamba. Tamba's got some blocks out in front of him. Cuts it back to the middle, across the 40, and he's got a first down. What a play call with all that pressure. But we have a late flag. All that hard work and determination to get the first down, and it might be coming back a little bit. Late flag on the field, and it might be Levante Parker, who had a discussion with the official afterwards. Let's see what happens. Now, it was, I think, a dead ball after the play. See if it's a first down and then move him back 15 yards, or if it's going to take away the play.
Well, they have a flag on the line of scrimmage too, so we may have two. Yeah, we may have 2 flags on this play.
We got 2 infractions, personal foul infraction. So this first down's not going to stand.
No, that was they're very well executed screen pass too.
So 1 flag came early, 1 flag came late.
I didn't see where the legal procedure came from. You can see the flag right there. But a nice throw and catch.
Parker's on the left side of your screen, and there's the hit right there, right after the play. Yep, unnecessary.
Completely, yeah. That's something. That's a discipline issue right there. You don't need to make that hit, particularly in the back, particularly at the end of the play, particularly at the end of a play that gains 16 or 18 yards. To put yourself down. Now back they're going to be, that's going to, they're probably taking the.
There's a head coach of Park Center, Paul Strong, and he, in his 4th season, his record 14-17, had a great season 2 years ago. A very talented senior class, really a lot of good athletes. And had a successful season, won 2 playoff games, beat Robbinsdale Cooper twice that year, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs, before eventually falling in the playoffs. But now they're really far back. And this is a 15-yard penalty and third, and I mean, they got to get up to the 44-yard line, and they're
it's third
at
down.
The 10. Yeah. So this is 3rd and 34.
Because the big penalty was a dead ball, so that ran the play.
So on 3rd down and 34, Brown steps back to pass in his own end zone, gets away from the pressure, gets away from another Spartan, but then eventually gets run out of bounds across the 15-yard line. And so far, the Pirates have mounted negative yardage in this game so far in 3 possessions.
Yeah, and the penalties have really crushed them. And they really have not yet blocked number 4, the linebacker, LaQuez Minor. They've got to figure out where he's coming from and get a body on him.
Another punt from Flores, up and away, and this one, a great-looking punt. I mean, a little bit of a field position changer right there. The Pirates could have been in big trouble had they not gotten a good kick out of Flores there, and Flores got the ball back to the Richfield 35-yard line. So despite the loss of yardage here for the Pirates and the lack of offensive success, Richfield not getting really great field position on this next possession.
Not from where you'd think that where the previous line of scrimmage was at about the 10 or 12-yard line. And that was a nice kick and a nice bounce for Park Center.
On first down and 10, Carlson throws an incomplete pass now for the Spartans.
Spartans certainly not afraid to throw the ball quick. They've run the ball effectively a couple of times, but they seem to be very willing to throw the football.
Fake the, oh, he got drilled, and that ball was almost intercepted for a pick six.
Whoa.
It's actually Schaefer in a quarterback. I mentioned Carlson a moment ago. I apologize. Schaefer's taking the snaps here, and Schaefer got hammered on that play right there, and that could have been a pick six had Michael Bailey Jr. been able to come down with that, but that was a good-looking blitz right up the middle. Schaefer had no time to react.
No, he was whacked as soon as he caught the ball almost.
So Schaefer into the game here, and he's under fire again. Park Center's defense responds just what the doctor ordered for the Pirates after that really terrible offensive possession from the offense. The defense comes out and sends the Spartans back 7 yards on a couple of big plays, including a sack right there.
Fourth down. So yeah, they forced a punt here. Ooh.
Punt gets received inside the 30-yard line. Flores runs up the left side before he's taken down. That was not Flores. That was Blake Wilkins. These numbers on these black on green, it's just you got to bear with me. With seeing the back of the jersey numbers is very easy. The front very difficult. Richfield looking like kind of Alabama is much easier. That nice solid maroon color on white. So here we go. Park Center's fourth possession of the game. Three and out so far. Negative yardage, including 2 penalties for 20 yards. It's not been a positive night so far for Park Center.
No.
But can they build on the momentum their defense might have just given them?
That's nice, and they got some fairly decent field position back, particularly considering where they had been, where they had put themselves in the previous possession.
Brown out of the shotgun. He's got Bailey in the backfield as his running back. Excuse me, that's Tamba. Tamba takes the carry. Tamba's got some running room, breaks a tackle into the secondary. And Tamba gets a 15-yard run up to midfield. Best offensive play of the night so far for the Pirates, and their first down.
Really a nicely executed running play, getting past the first level and getting Tamba into the backfield. We can see he breaks a tackle there. So he broke a couple of tackles getting up there and getting an 11-yard gain, or 12-yard gain that puts him good first and down towards the midfield.
First down and 10. Park Center approaching midfield here. Oh, a good-looking throw to Brown right there. Threw it right through the hands of his receiver, a catch that probably should have been made from Mitchell Meyer. Meyer would like to have that one back. Let's go take a look at Tony Seaman, who's down on the sidelines. Tony, what you got for us?
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Yes, just coming off there, probably the best Park Center offensive play of the night. I've been by the bench all night listening to Park Center head coach Paul Strong and the rest of the coaching staff speak to this offense, saying early on in the game, stay calm, stay focused, play your game. You can tell Park Center's offense has been real jittery going through the air. They've just said slow things down, stay calm, play the football. I know you can. You can see that coming out right now.
Park Center, however, there is a flag on the play. This one probably won't stand. Another positive play, though, is the Tez Hester got a gain of about 7 yards. You can see likely going to be a holding call on Park Center. So that's going to be third penalty of the night. 3 penalties, 30 yards now on the Pirates.
And that's going to be an expensive one because the flag was in the backfield. So it's going to be a particularly expensive 10 yards there. Push the ball back to the 39-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 20. So they've put themselves into a number of not long, but very long situations already in the first quarter here. 1:10 to go in the first quarter.
Brown out of the gun again. 2 receivers to each side. And Tamba, his lone back in the backfield. Richfield showing a big blitz up the middle. Ball's on the turf. Brown struggles to pick it up and finally just gets on top of it at the 27-yard line. Just another negative play. How many of those have there been tonight for the Pirates?
Too many. But yeah, that and Richfield had a really stacked defense. They had 4 guys against 2.5 blockers, so it
another 10-yard loss.
Yeah, so that puts them now 3rd and 30.
You just can't be.
Yeah, you have a good 3rd and 30 play, Joe.
Yeah, you can't be going backwards. That's
no.
Right now, Park Center's offense twice in this game has punted from further back than where it started, and it's looking to perhaps do it a 3rd time. Timeout taken by the Pirates.
Right, their alignment, they were struggling to find their alignment in that formation, so Coach Strong calls a timeout.
You wonder, I mean, you know, you don't like to make up excuses. This is a long ball game. Park Center played much better in the second half last week against Cooper, but
right.
They don't look like they got it together here tonight, especially coming off a week where they felt pretty good.
Right.
Now, what I'll say about that is last week, they probably practiced during the daytime. Coaches had their kids' full attention during that week. It was all about football. This week, first week of school, kids are back in school. Practices were probably a little bit shorter. There's a lot of things going on. Kids got homework. The girls are back in school. You know, we're a little distracted maybe tonight, Bill.
Maybe.
That's what I'm going to chalk it up to.
But I think that Tony pointed out very nicely that the coaching staff tell them, you know, stay calm, play within yourself. That's to my mind, that's good advice. You know, you come out here a little bit geeked up, and you can make a lot of mistakes when you're too hyper about it.
Third down and 30. Ball at the 29 at Park Center. Here comes the blitz again. This time it's picked up nicely. Brown's got all kinds of time. He's throwing deep. Boy, there was just a little bit of a hand check, and he got called for it.
He's going to get called for
Boy,
it.
There was a little bit of a hand check. It was subtle, but you know what? It did slow down the receiver.
Right. Yeah, I thought the receiver might be looking to slow down to find the ball, and right at the moment that he started to pull up, he got jammed pretty good. Blackshear put a pretty good hand in the chest of the receiver.
Blackshear probably didn't need to. He could have ran right with him.
Right. And you know, you like to have your secondary guys, particularly in one-on-one coverage, to be able to run with. If they both would have been running and not slowed up, one of them might have caught that ball. It might have been Blackshear.
Yeah, and you don't see the foul there because it happened before that.
Right. But that's a
15-yard penalty for pass interference. Not an automatic first down in high school football. And it'll be just a short gain there on 3rd down and 15. I'm surprised they don't go back to the air. I mean, Blackshear checked out of the game with an injury after that penalty. He's getting stretched out on the sidelines.
Yep.
So I would go right back to that same play, pick on his replacement.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And they said they kept the ball on the ground there and essentially gained a couple of yards. So that's the end of the first quarter, though. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back for more high school football here on CCX.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Received at the 33-yard line and then brought right up the middle there. Nice job done, though, by the unknown receiver for Richfield because he's not on the roster. But he saved his team some yardage there by just making that catch in traffic and getting the ball up to the 40-yard line. So Richfield will take over their 4th possession of the game. They have 3 3-and-outs and a touchdown, a 34-yard touchdown pass to Blackshear from Caleb Carlson, who is now back in the game at quarterback. They gave Schaefer that one possession. It did not go too well for Schaefer. He got abused on his one possession of the game so far, and that time they hand the ball off on first down, and they go backwards again. Javante Howard loses a couple yards on first down. So second down and 12 now. Carlson with 3 receivers to his left, and he's going to give it to Howard up the right side. He runs it to the weak side. Pirates not fooled, waiting for him at the line of scrimmage. A host of Pirates there, including Ryan Schronbrick, who makes that tackle along the line of scrimmage from the defensive end spot. And now it's third down and 12. The Spartans really quick, no huddle offense continues here. 6-0 lead into the second quarter here in Brooklyn Park at Park Center High School. Carlson has a wide open receiver. How does he get that open? And they're going to say he's out of bounds. Couldn't get his feet in bounds. Boy, that was a weird looking cover two, where the cornerback passes him off to the safety, but really there's no purpose.
nobody got
There's no one
there,
underneath. There's no reason to pass him off and not cover him.
And that's a nice ball. You can see it's a nice pass by Carlson, but you can see the receiver clearly.
Or clearly or not.
Clearly. Looked like he had his foot on the line, on the sideline.
You only need 1 foot in high school.
Yeah, and that reception looked like might have been pretty close.
Tough from our angle here, but Richfield punt, directional. Oh, and a backward lateral. How about that play? Here comes Park Center up the left sideline. That's Blake Wilkins. Wilkins has got some running room. Can he get the block down the sideline? He does not. He gets knocked out of bounds. And then there's some talking afterwards.
Yep.
Anthony Sanders knocked him out of bounds and had something to say about it, but what a return and what a play there on the backward lateral. Blake Wilkins.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play. And, of course, the coaches will tell you that's the way we drew it up. That was intentional.
Let's
And really not a good
again.
kick, but bouncing. And that's a good job to keep that thing from bouncing all over the place.
Little backyard ball, they call
There you
that.
go,
Dominic
yeah.
Fees decides to give it up to Wilkins, and now Park Center, see if they can build on some of that positivity. Their best field position of the night. They're down at the Richfield 32-yard line.
You know, the first time they've really gotten into the Richfield territory at all.
Jamel Brown throws 3 receivers here to his left, 1 to his right, and he's got Tomba in the backfield. Throws it across the middle, nice reception on a slant, and then breaking a couple of tackles deep into the secondary and into the end zone. Levante Parker, they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line, but a 31-yard gain by Parker on just a nice simple slant, and Brown hit him in stride.
Well, this is really a nice ball by Brown. Hits Parker right in stride, breaks a couple of tackles there, and just about his knee hits about the 2-yard line, 3-yard line as he was leaning towards the goal line. So they're going to have first and goal at the 1. That was a very nicely executed slant, Joe.
Here comes Brown under center now, I formation with Hester the fullback, and Brown's going to run the quarterback sneak right up the gut. And we got ourselves a tie ball game.
Well, that's the way you want to, after as poorly as you've had the first quarter go for Park Center, that's the way you like to start the second quarter.
Park Center with only 1 first down in all of the first quarter comes out here in the second quarter swinging. Brown gets Jamel Brown with a 1-yard touchdown sneak. And the extra point now, which is a big one because Richfield missed their opening one, is up, and it's good. Kicking it through the uprights right now, and the difference of the game is Braulio Aguilar with some fancy green shoes. You know who the kicker is when he's on the field.
Go. Yep.
Aguilar puts the Park Center Pirates up by a point. It's 7-6 Park Center.
And that quickly, things change. It looked like Richfield was pretty much in control of things, both offensively and defensively. And all of a sudden, a nice run back, a quick slant play for 31 yards, and bang, now the score's the other way around.
I wonder if we'll see a little bit more of that from the Park Center Pirates now, just getting rid of the ball fast, because the Pirates brought a lot of pressure in that first quarter.
And they're going to continue.
We mentioned this, to Coach Strong before the game, but, on the paper, it looked like the Pirates sure struggled to run the football against Cooper, and tonight they've struggled to run the football. I mean, that's not a trend you want to continue. It's something that they probably do need to address. You have to be a non-one-dimensional team, and you have to be able to get positive yards on the ground to be successful.
Yeah, and the type of defense that Richfield is running, they're running like a 3-4, 3-3, 3-5, but what that does is it puts any number of linebackers. You've got 4 or 5 linebackers running around there, and it gives you a lot of different blitz combinations, and very challenging for the offensive line to deal with that.
Aguilar kicks off to Richfield's Tanner Stein. Sorry, pardon me, the wrong one there. Emmanuel Blackshear takes that ball up to the 30-yard line. Blackshear got kind of worked on that cramp on the sidelines. He's back into the game now, at least for the moment on special teams. Going to see if he's going to stay on the field for offense. Kind of a do-it-all player for the Spartans. He's going to be the wide out on the right side there. Out of the shotgun now, Caleb Carlson with 2 receivers to each side. Fakes the handoff. He's under pressure, and he's going down. Big sack there from the Park Center defense, getting up there up the middle. One of the Pirates was Jared Bradford. Nice job done by the Pirates there. Bradford and Tony Stork. Now we have a flag on the play. And look what happens when you kind of get the Spartans rattled a little bit. They get a false start here penalty now, and their second penalty of the night.
Right, have some movement along the line of scrimmage. Cost them 5 yards. And Coach Jordan Salas, the defensive coordinator for Park Center, said that they were going to be bringing a lot of pressure tonight because they felt like they could pressure Caleb Carlson, and the first down certainly showed that they got there.
Little draw play there to Howard, and a decent gain of 4.5 yards on that carry. Gets him up to the 25-yard line. We're going to check back in with Tony now here before we watch third down.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, talk about a tale of 2 quarters. This Park Center offense seeming dead in the water in the first quarter. Fired up right now. I'm right next to their bench, and they're saying things like, guys, now every time we get the ball, we're scoring. We know we can do it. So let's see if that one touchdown is the spark that this team needs to blow this thing open. Guys.
Blackshear once again gets open behind the secondary, but again can't catch the ball in bounds. They say he's out of bounds. Incomplete pass. What a game-changing play that could have been.
Boy, that looked like that was going to be a home run all the way. And Blackshear just is out of bounds. I don't understand why
the cornerback's not running with him, Bill. I mean, he's just. They might have to change the person who's covering him over there right now. He's got a matchup issue.
And all Blackshear has to do is move his feet by 4 or 5 inches, and he'll be in bounds on those 2 long pass plays.
Tyus Jenkins was on the covers there, and Tyus is struggling a little bit to kind of just keep Blackshear in front of him.
Well, Blackshear's a rangy guy and got good speed, and they're certainly not afraid to throw him the football.
So on 4th down and 18, Richfield punts the football back to Park Center. Ball gets down at the 46-yard line. Park Center, who struggled with field position all quarter long in quarter number 1, now suddenly has a surge here and momentum on their side. Now they're getting the ball 1st down and 10 at their 46. What a strange night of 3 and outs, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
sincerely.
Richfield has 4 3 and outs and a touchdown. Park Center has 4 3 and outs and a touchdown. I formation now. They're going to give it to the wingback. Bad timing back in the backfield as the quarterback and the wingback run into each other. Not the way they try to draw that up.
No, that was not a smooth handoff. Here we see quarterback Brown
Nelson Flores
handing off to Flores, and a little bit of miscommunication about who had which lane there.
Flores did get back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 2nd down and 10. Now Flores goes out to the left side as the wideout. Parker's here on the right side. It's I formation with a tight end on the right-hand side. Here comes a pitch to the right side. Sweep right. Gets a good block from his fullback, and he's to the second level. Tamba into Richfield territory. Tamba steps out of bounds at the 26-yard line, and the Pirates fans thought he was going the distance.
That's going to be interesting to see. He was close to the sideline, but I didn't think he was out of bounds. I thought he kept his foot in bounds. Here we see a nice toss sweep. This is obviously the best running play for them tonight. And we see Manuel Tamba coming down. Oh, yep, he got it right there on the 21-yard line, 26-yard line. Yeah, he did hit the sideline. I didn't think he did.
Right in front of that Park Center bench.
Right there in front. But that's a nice, that toss sweep has not been very good for them tonight, and that was obviously the best executed toss sweep that they've had.
What a great block from Tez Hester there on the outside linebacker as well. 28-yard gain there for Tamba. They come out with the same formation. They fake the sweep. Now he looks deep. Brown has got a receiver. Oh, they're going to sit there for some contact. That one looked pretty innocent. And he's saying his jersey was held, so we might. Flores was the intended receiver. On the coverage out there for Richfield was Dylan Jagdeo, and Jake Dejeo must have pulled some jersey.
Must have. There was some collision out there, but it's hard to tell who initiated the contact. And a lot of times that minor type of collision is going to be. Oh, I see. He got him with his left hand.
Locked him with the left arm. Again, it's one of those ones where he was running with him stride for stride.
Right.
I think he was okay. He should not have touched him. Third penalty of the game on Richfield. This one's the most costly for sure.
Right. It's the second major pass interference that they've had.
This puts Park Center down at the 14-yard line. They give it to Tez Hester right up the gut. There's nowhere to go for Tez. So second down and 10, ball still spotted at that 14-yard line. 7-6, Park Center leads after trailing 6-0 at the quarter. It's been kind of a frustrating first quarter, but a great second quarter for Park Center. Last week it was the second quarter that was frustrating. They gave up 27 points to Cooper in the second quarter last week. For Richfield, it was the second quarter that was their downfall. They gave up 33 to De La Salle. Brown to the end zone, looking and overthrowing Michael Bailey Jr.
That was just a little bit high. Michael Bailey wasn't able to get up and grab that. You can see just a little bit high.
Well, it's 4-down territory unless you really like the leg of Aguilar, and it might be in his field goal range.
Right. I think it would be good, psychologically, it's good to get points anytime. And if you've got a decent field goal kicker, you want to put points on the board.
High formation with one receiver to each side, tight end on the right side. The give is to Tez Hester right at the middle. Tez finds some running room, gets away from the linebackers into the secondary. Ball's on the ground. Whistle's already been blown. He's got a first down, but he's down to the 1-yard line. Nice run for Hester there. Scampers for 12 yards. On a 3rd down and 10, they give it to the fullback right up the gut.
Tez does a really nice job of breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage, breaking an arm tackle by a linebacker and getting into the secondary. Getting a nice 12-yard gain, 1st and goal for the Pirates at the Richfield 1-yard line.
Hester's going to get it again here on 1st down and goal, but this time he's met at the line of scrimmage by a big defensive front from Richfield, including the 300-pound Kimani Forrest, who plays in the nose there. Forrest was there to grab on and did not let go.
Yeah, they pretty well jammed up the goal line defense for the Spartans. Pretty tough from tackle to tackle there.
So a second chance here for the Pirates. 2nd down and goal from the 1. Brown will come under center, I formation. 1 receiver to each side. And they're going to give it to the deep back this time. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Tamba had some backfield penetration, but was able to get away from Devontae Howard. And then once he got free from Howard, he was into the end zone for 6.
Tamba does a nice job. We can see he makes a nice move right there. Oh, misses, makes a guy miss him. So the linebacker was not able to bring Tamba down. He did a nice job of making number 81 miss. And now we've got a 13-6 ball game. And
Aguilar will pound the extra point through the uprights, and it's 14 unanswered for the Pirates. After 4 3-and-outs to begin the game, Park Center now has rattled off back-to-back possessions with ending in 7 points. As Tamba takes it in for a 1-yard touchdown run. In the previous possession, it was the quarterback Brown who rushed it in for a 1-yard touchdown. And now Richfield has to respond with 5:14 to go here in the second quarter. For Richfield, they have had 3 3-and-outs since their touchdown.
Right.
And so their offense is looking for an answer right now. It's been a while since they've even moved the chains.
Yeah, they've really been stymied here. They did a really nice job of changing the tempo in the first half, or first quarter, excuse me, and set themselves up, and they've had 2 very long pass plays completed, but completed out of bounds, and both of those properly executed would have been huge plays. One of them probably would have been a touchdown.
Aguilar to kick off. So he's going to bounce right in front of Javante Howard, but Howard picks it up, and he is met by the special teams of the Pirates and taken down at the 23-yard line.
Looked like that was Eric Phillips, a 5'10", 210-pound fullback linebacker, made a nice collision, good form tackle on the return man. Put the Spartans in some not real good field position at the 23-yard line.
First down and 10. Carlson back to pass, looks to his right, has a wide open receiver, Blackshear across the middle, into the secondary, spins out of a tackle to 50, gets down to the 45, finally dragged down at the 41-yard line. What a big playmaker he has been in this game. Emmanuel Blackshear. Right. This time they throw it to him across the middle because he can stay in bounds.
There you go.
Blackshear.
I was just going to say the same thing. At least didn't have to worry about him being on the sideline that time. Nice pass by Carlton, getting the ball upfield. Blackshear knows what to do with it when he gets it. He runs very well.
A gain of 25 for Blackshear. Well, he's got 2 really big ones today.
He's got the touchdown and that big one, yeah. The touchdown was what, a 31 or 32
34-yarder.
34 yards.
Carlson swings it out to the right side, finds an open receiver. That was Joel Schaefer over there, I believe, on the right side.
Yep.
Schaefer makes that catch and scampered forward for a first down. Nice pickup of 9 yards there to Schaefer. And the Richfield moves the sticks now for the second time in this possession.
So once again, we see a big play makes a huge difference in the offense. All of a sudden they start to execute a lot better.
Carlson's going to keep this one when he was under pressure. And Carlson has some running room, gets into the secondary, and he's got a first down. Carlson, with his best run of the night, finds 14 yards right through the heart of the defense of Park Center, and he gets all the way down to the 16-yard line.
And that's a nice scramble by Caleb Carlson. He does a good job of pulling the ball down once he gets threatened by the pressure of the defense and getting up into the secondary.
Gives it to Howard, and Howard had nowhere to go. The blitz got free there right up the middle. Nice play by Park Center, getting across the line of scrimmage and making that play in the backfield. On the tackle for the Pirates was Ryan Schnobrick. Schnobrick's been a tough guy to handle there up along the defensive line.
He's penetrated well this evening. We have a timeout from the Spartans here.
5-yard loss on that run there from Howard, and boy, he got off to such a positive start on that couple opening drives. He was finding running room, and they have not been able to get much going. Park Center's defense has responded nicely to the running game, but now some of the big play offensively has come from the passing game of Carlson and company.
Yep, when you when you send your linebackers, the one thing that you have a hard time doing, if you send a linebacker or two, those underneath zones get to be wide open. And if the offense has a guy in that zone and they can get him the ball, then before the pressure gets to the quarterback, as we saw with Blackshear, you can get a big play out of that. And the trouble with a pressure defense is that the quarterback has to get pressure and throw the ball poorly or get sacked, because if he gets the ball off and he gets it into a zone where there should be a linebacker who's blitzing, then you're going to give up a pretty good amount of yardage.
All right, single back in the backfield, trips right. One receiver to the left. Carlson throws it right across the middle, and it's a dropped pass right there. Had an open receiver and could not look it in. Anthony Sanders wishes he could have a mulligan on that one. That ball was right in his hands, and maybe he heard the footsteps of the safety coming on.
Yeah.
3rd and 14 now. Now they send the trips to the left side, to the wide side of the field. Carlson back to pass, looking right. Looking for Blackshear, and he gets behind the cornerback again. We've talked about that matchup tonight, and it's just been an issue. Blackshear simply runs right behind the cornerback of Park Center, and it's simply a throw and catch.
Yeah, Blackshear does a nice job. He gets a good drive to the inside, peels to the outside, and the defender just one step flat-footed, and all of a sudden he's wide open and makes the play.
They're going to go for two here. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Carlson looking to pass, got Blackshear open, and this time he was defended, and the ball falls incomplete. So despite the touchdown, Park Center will still have a lead, 14-12, but Richfield gets back on the scoreboard and back in rhythm.
Exactly.
And guess who it is? It's Emmanuel Blackshear, 2nd touchdown reception of the night. That one a 22-yarder. And I don't know if it's that easy on that side. They're going to continue to call his number.
Yeah, and they've come, like I said a couple of times here, they have completed a couple of nice long passes that were out of bounds, and they're gonna pick on that corner on that side there where Blackshear is, and until Park Center adjusts to that alignment. But when they put Blackshear on all by himself on one side, spread out, and 3 receivers on the other, that pretty much isolates that corner over there.
It's hard to give him. Yeah, it's hard to give him help.
And the only way you can give him help is probably, move a linebacker out a little bit, and then you soften yourself for or come up and jam him hard at the line of scrimmage and hope you can get some help with the safety, and roll your linebackers to the 3 receiver side.
And I'm in the boat right now where you want to come into a game and you want to dictate the play and say,
exactly,
we're playing our kind of defense. But when you respond to what they have on the other side though as well, and I start to take my best athlete and put him across from Blackshear, that ball's in the ground.
It's a live
football on the kick. Park Center did not respond well to that one, and it's Richfield ball.
Exactly.
The Spartans got the ball back. Intentionally or not, I don't think that was a purposeful pooch kick. It just ended up going their way.
Well, the ball hit and bounced away from the receiver. The receiver's got to have enough moxie to get on that thing right now, and also to recognize it. When that ball's in the air, you got to get under it and catch it. And we can see that the receiver wasn't even really close to the ball when the kickoff coverage got there.
Richfield gets the ball back on the 17-yard line of the Pirates. Carlson, quarterback draw by design, and he gets stuffed up there. Oh, he lost the ball. They're going to blow it dead, though.
Oh, he was. I don't know that he was down.
And was forward momentum stopped?
Well, once the whistle blows, but
can't have it back. But
no, you can't get it back, and that might have been a relatively quick whistle, because I do not believe Carlson was down.
Schoenberg was going for probably what I'm guessing is his first ever touchdown.
Yeah.
just being a defensive
Watch here
lineman.
as Carlson gets in the line there.
His momentum was pretty stopped. I mean, it's
yeah. And once the whistle blows, That kills the ball, whether there was a turnover or not.
What's not in their favor there is it was the quarterback, so the whistle might have came a little earlier because he's the quarterback.
Exactly.
You know, rather than a running back, you just see if he can maybe break the tackle. Carlson back to pass, second down. Blackshear again just gets right behind the defensive back. Little resistance over there on the other side. Something has to be done for Park Center to stop that play. It's just a throw and catch to Blackshear for his third touchdown of the game.
You get a little bit of a look to the left side and throw it right back in, and you see Carlson gets the ball right on the 7, and Blackshear is, really shown some nice route discipline. He was exactly between the receiver, the corner, and the safety as the extra point is blocked. So we're now at an 18-14 standoff with 2:14 remaining in the half.
I back off a little bit, Bill, and make him catch a slant. Or, make him catch something short and then see what he does after the catch. Right now they're playing this press coverage. And he's running right behind them.
He's just getting right behind him, right at the line of scrimmage. And if they're trying to help with the safety isn't getting over far enough to provide any help at all.
As much as you want to play your style defense, it's now time. Well, I'm sure they'll have some time at halftime to do it, but it's they're getting beat by one guy right now.
Yeah, you don't want to let one guy beat you. And Richfield is proving that, hey, if they're not going to defend that guy, or if we can beat that guy one-on-one, we're gonna go to him as often as we possibly can and make them defend the one guy that they haven't been able to do.
Well, Caleb Carlson, unofficially, 7 for 12, 122 yards, 3 touchdowns, and all of them to Mr. Blackshear.
So the mishandling of the kickoff on the previous possession.
Now a big return into the open field. Nice looking return from Park Center. As they're back in business, the Pirates getting some momentum off the return from Mitchell Meyer.
Meyer does a nice job. He gets going upfield pretty good. Gets knocked down at about the 49-yard line, but that was a really nice return. Good field position with about 2 minutes to go in the 2 minutes and 7 to go in the half. Plenty of time to get the ball downfield and score. Two receivers right, 2 receivers left. Brown gets the ball.
Back to pass, looking down the field. He's got a receiver across the middle. A nice sprawling catch made by Flores as he catches that one deep into the secondary down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 19 on first down.
Flores makes a nice diving catch of that ball. It's a nicely thrown ball, and Flores does a good job of getting his hands underneath it, making sure he's got it, and gets a nice 19-yard gain. Nicely thrown ball by Brown.
So a first down for the Pirates, and all of a sudden, both offenses clicking. How about that?
Yeah.
Two receivers to each side. Brown out of the shotgun. Oh, there's some movement in the backfield. Does not get called. Brown rolls to his right. Decides not to throw it across the middle. Probably a smart move. Steps out of bounds for a short loss instead. And we have a timeout being called here by Richfield.
Yeah. That was really a smart play by Jamal Brown. It didn't, you don't recognize it, but as he was coming up, he probably had a receiver that was open, but throwing across your body while you're running, in this case, Jamal Brown, the right-hander running to his right side. If he throws across his body over the middle of the field, that's about a 95% chance of being picked off. He does a very smart job of recognizing that he's not going to be able to complete the ball, pulling it down, getting out of bounds, and stopping the clock, saving his team some time, as well as a potential turnover from a bad play, trying to force the ball in.
You know, when you think about Park Center and their success they've had in the second quarter, you can't pinpoint it to just one thing, though, either.
No.
I mean, they've had a nice long run by Tomba one time, and they've had some success with Hester with a nice plunge up the middle, and, you know, Brown's thrown a couple of nice balls, but it's not, they've kind of spread it out compared to Richfield, who's, you know, really dialed in on one player right now, but Park Center right now is spreading the wealth a little bit offensively. Now they give to Tomba. He gets away from one defender. Watch the block in the back there. And he's got away with it, so he's going to get across into the first down, across the 25-yard line, all the way down to the 21. A gain of 15 yards on that run. Nice run by Tomba as he continues to get better as this game goes on.
Right, they're certainly not averaging 1 yard rushing tonight.
He's got 7 carries for 47 yards now unofficially.
I think this is something that Paul Strong had hoped for last week, and has become a little bit more of an expectation this week to have a nice balanced offense, particularly being able to run a little bit.
Flores goes in motion, gets the handoff, and he gets run down from the backside. Good hustle from the backside there by Laquez Minor, who's been all over the place defensively tonight for the Spartans. Nice player. But it's still a gain of 3 yards on that first down play.
That's pretty nicely executed, kind of a jet sweep there. Well, with the clock running, you've got to move the ball. You should, you know, you got 2 timeouts left. Why are you letting the clock run?
Down out of the shotgun, 2 receivers each side. He's got an open receiver, but he throws it to Tomba instead underneath. Tomba makes a great move, makes a Spartan miss. He's got a first down and more as he gets down inside the 10-yard line. That'll stop the clock for a second, and they'll probably use a timeout, actually. He takes that from the 20-yard line down to the 8, so give him 12 yards, or 11 yards in that reception, rather, down to the 9.
And he avoids 2 defenders right there by ducking under the tackle, breaking a tackle there, almost breaking a 3rd or 4th tackle as he gets the 12-yard gain, which stops the clock. 25 seconds remaining. Ball is inside the 10-yard line, so it'll be first and goal from about the 8 or 9-yard line. Looks like it's just inside the 10 at the 9. So first and goal, 25 seconds remaining, and Park Center still with 1 timeout.
So with 1 timeout, you could put the ball on the ground 1 time.
1 time.
And then maybe then it's got to go to the air after that.
And in this kind of a situation, particularly where you've got 9 or 10 yards to go, I'd like to see them run a play action pass where everybody knows you've got enough time to run the ball 1 time, and if you get a good fake on the play action pass, you got a real good chance of getting somebody open. If you can get a safety or a corner to bite on the run fake, you've got a real good opportunity to get a nice play on a pass play, and then you can come back on 2nd down and run the ball.
Keep an eye on Levante Parker at the top of your screen. Number 14 for Park Center has been a big target for them in these types of situations. Brown back to pass, looking to Parker. He's double teamed, and they're going to say not enough contact that time around. He tried to throw that back shoulder fade type throw, and Parker got a little bit into the contact there and frustrated. They did not get the benefit of the call.
Right.
So 2nd down and goal now from the 8. That play right there only took 5 seconds, though.
Yes, we've got a good opportunity to do a couple of things. And if the defense is looking for a pass play here as the clock starts to run down, good opportunity to run a draw.
I like that play call at this time. Keep an eye on Minor blitzing from the Spartans. Brown back to pass. Throws it underneath, little screen to Tomba. Tomba on the run. Nowhere to go there as he's run down. Quick whistle, and now they'll have to call a timeout. He's taken down at the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1 yard.
Yeah.
Great convergence and defense there by Richfield.
Well,
look at the speed.
The linemen get too far ahead of the running back, and they really can't effectively block the defenders.
Blackshear was out there for it. We have a flag now. False start as Park Center was not going to take the time. Time runs out here.
Oh my goodness, I thought they took a timeout.
They must not have had a timeout. Then they went to go spike the football and got called for a false start. So we had wrong information on the timeout situation, but that's why that play can't be thrown underneath and can't throw the screen. You got to throw it into the end zone.
Exactly.
as they talk it out. These are all learning lessons on a very young football season. The only problem, though, is the football season after tonight is 25% over.
There you go.
That's how a high school football season works, right? All right, it's halftime right now. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with first half highlights and stats and more here on CCX.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
got one more.
All right, you're taking a look right now at the Park Center Band, putting on quite a performance here tonight on an absolutely gorgeous night in Brooklyn Park. And we had the opportunity to catch up with the band director, Mr. Wade Schroeder, previously here tonight. And let's take a look at that interview now here on CCX.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. We're here with the man behind the magic you see during halftime, Wade Schroeder, Park Center Band Director. Wade, how's it going?
It's going great. It's our first game out, and we're excited to be on the field tonight.
I know it's the first home game of the season. You know the players are excited. How pumped is this band to get out there in front of the home fans finally for the first time this year?
You know, I just talked to them inside before we came out, and they're really, really excited about it. They've performed for a few parents here and there. They've gone through the show a ton of times, but it's the first time they've been in front of this many people all year. First time in uniforms this year, and so there's a lot of firsts there that they're really excited to get the season going.
You were talking a little bit with me about this beforehand, but you know the fans just see the finished product. But this doesn't just happen overnight. Talk about just the experience of what they've had to go through to get to this moment tonight.
Well, we start off in late May. We do a couple of rehearsals before school gets over last year. And then through the summer, they're either meeting once a week if they're part of the percussion or the color guard. Everybody else is meeting twice a week until August, and then we really ramp it up. We do a full week of band camp and then 2 or 3 nights a week from then until the end of our season at the end of the football season as well, the middle of October.
First home game, Park Center looking for their first win. Do you think tonight's the night?
Well, it's night for the band, at least.
Band director approved. All right, thanks a lot, Wade. Back to you guys.
And we're back now at Park Center High School. Thanks for that interview right there with the band director and the beautiful performance from the band. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for first half stats and highlights. You're watching high school football on CCX.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
We're back in Brooklyn Park here at Park Center High School. It's Richfield Spartans leading the Park Center Pirates 18-14, and it's been a very interesting trip to this point. This game started off with neither team really hitting on all cylinders, but it was Richfield who got up 6-0 in the opening quarter. Nice little run here up the gut. As you saw, some decent runs early on in this game from Richfield. That's Javante Howard. And Howard and the Spartans got off to a pretty good start here. Carlson throws it deep here. This trend would continue, but it took a little bit of a break. But that right there, beautiful pass and catch to Emmanuel Blackshear. That was the first touchdown of the game. Then Park Center started to pick it up. They had 4 consecutive 3-and-outs. And then this play right here kind of sparked them a little bit. It's a punt return, kind of a chancy play, but Flores gets the backward lateral on a punt return, takes it across midfield, and finally Park Center is in business and gets into Richfield territory. That alone changed the momentum. Park Center put together a couple of first downs, and then they plunged in for a 1-yard touchdown behind the legs of the quarterback, Jamel Brown. Then it was Park Center getting the ball back in midfield with great field position once again, and this time getting the job done is Emmanuel Tamba, the running back. He ran out of bounds there. That was not a touchdown, but Park Center eventually will give it back to Tamba, and this time this is a touchdown. Tamba gets to celebrate. Park Center made both their extra points, led 14-6, and it was Richfield coming back. Once again, the wide receiver Blackshear sneaking behind the defense, his second touchdown grab of the game. And how about a third? And that's only in the second quarter, folks. Blackshear puts the Spartans back on top, was not able to convert on a 2-point conversion, and they also got an extra point block. So they have 3 touchdowns, 18 points, no points after right now. There's your first half stats. Combined yards right now, Richfield sitting at 150, Park Center at 115. First downs, I mean, that is not a lot in a first half of action. There's been a lot of 3-and-outs tonight here, folks. And when they've got going, they've got going. There's some penalties as well. 3 for 35 for Richfield, 3 for 30 for Park Center. An interesting ball game to say the least, and we're excited for half number 2 here, Bill.
Yeah, and I don't know that either team's going to want to make a whole lot of changes. Obviously, the secondary for Park Center is going to have to figure out how they're going to defend Blackshear. Blackshear has proven to be a real thorn in their side, and Caleb Carlson has been able to find him 3 times open for touchdowns, but a couple of other times he's had good catches and good runs. Offensively, Park Center has been a lot more balanced. They've done a pretty good job of spreading the ball around to 2 or 3, 4 different players, both running and passing. They're going to need to tighten their defense down a little bit, make sure that they don't let Caleb Carlson beat them with passes to Blackshear.
As we begin this second half, the Spartans will have the football. Park Center will be kicking off. Richfield will be going right to left, which is what they did so in the second quarter so successfully as well on their final 2 possessions. It's been a game of field position, though. It seems like
really
when the offenses get good field position, they've been able to capitalize. When they're inside their own 35-yard line, they have done nothing. Nobody's sustained a 70, 80-yard drive yet. It's been the short fields that have led to scores.
Exactly.
Of course, one of the short fields included a 17-yard short field for Richfield when they were able to get on their own kick with back-to-back scores. So here they come out. The Spartans get the ball across the 30-yard line. And again, we have yet to see one of the teams take the ball from this distance all the way down for a touchdown score. So Park Center will feel aggressive and good about the field position that they're giving Richfield on this opening drive. Down at the 32-yard line, that's where the Spartans will take over to begin the second half. Caleb Carlson, the senior quarterback, comes out in the gun with Trips to his left and Blackshear to his right. That's been a pretty palatable formation. But the give goes up the middle to Javante Howard, and Howard has little to no room. Picks up about a yard on that first down carry.
Very well defended by the Park Center defensive line that time. They got into their gaps and made sure that Howard could not break free.
Same formation here on 2nd down and 8. Carlson back to pass, looking to Blackshear, decides to pull it down, runs it, has some running room, and he might fall forward for a first down. He does have a first down. That's a pickup of 9 yards, as Carlson has shown his ability now to scamper a little bit in the last couple of possessions. So a first down for Richfield.
Absolutely, a heads-up play by Caleb Carlson, seeing that Blackshear was taken away, and he found a seam and got about 9 yards.
Now Carlson tries to throw a quick slant there. Richfield wants a pass interference call as it was thrown intended for Schaefer. Good defensive play there by Michael Bailey Jr. And it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
That was really a quick slant to the inside receiver, hoping to catch a linebacker flat-footed. and defended very well by the Pirates.
Trips left again, Blackshear up to the right. There's a little bit of help over there this time now. They're kind of shadowing a little bit. Now they throw a quick little one. No, Blackshear shows his moves after the catch. A nice little gain right there. But that's what I would force him to do at least.
Yeah.
And take some, at least he's going to take some hits. 7-yard gain there from Blackshear on a nice little
Makes a nice move to avoid a tackle. And gets a pretty good gain there, a gain of about 6 yards.
3rd down and 3. Carlson looking back to Blackshear, and this one unexpectedly goes right through his hands. That's a first down out all day for Blackshear.
Right.
Somehow he just didn't catch that one.
But Park Center now is with the changeover in their secondary, the way they've played their secondary, they're forcing that shorter pass. We see Blackshear not able to put the grabbers on it.
Check out the aggressiveness here. They're going to, well, no, I thought they were going for it. My bad. That's so weird, but they are going for it. Sanders is going to pull it down and try to run, and that's just not the right call. I kind of pointed this out earlier. Nobody has scored when you give them the long field.
Right.
So give them the long field.
Right. And their punting game for Richfield has not been terrible tonight. They had the one long return after a lateral, but
Sanders tries to run that one from the punter position. That's the nice thing about having an athlete back there, a punter, but Park Center was expecting it. And somehow I saw it coming too. I was like, why are they going for it here? Something tipped me off that there was, it didn't look like, I mean, it was, they have a weird, they have a weird formation, but everyone was acting a little bit differently. I don't know. So anyway, here we go. 1st down and 10. Park Center with great field position now after that stop and the fake punt. They get the ball at the Richfield 44. Richfield aggressive play with a lead. Brown back to pass, looks to the right, has an open receiver, but he drops it. Oh, that ball was in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
Yeah, that was.
Osseo Mibble should have had that one, I believe.
That's a nice ball, long pass across the field. Yeah, and the receiver got his hands on it, just couldn't bring it in. 2nd and 10 now for the Pirates.
Ayo Middlele, who lets that ball drop incomplete. Now Brown out of the shotgun again, 2 receivers each way. This time the handoff goes up the middle. And a nice gain right there by Tamba, who gets deep into the secondary before he's taken down inside the 30-yard line, down to the 27. Gain of 17 yards on that quick sprint up the middle.
And Tamba is proving to be a tough guy to tackle. He breaks tackles 1, 2, 3 before he's brought down. He's not the biggest guy around, but he runs very hard and is very tough to bring down one-on-one.
First down and 10 now. Ball at the 26-yard line. Tamba gets the fake this time. Brown keeps it. And Brown let that ball ride on his shoulder. It was an option on the way because Tamba was expecting to maybe get that one, but Brown picks up 3 yards as he plunges forward on that carry.
Yeah, you think that's not a great play, but what that does is it lets the defense know that you have to defend both guys in the backfield. You can't just focus on Tamba, that you've got to respect Brown as well. So 3-yard gain, kind of minimal, but by the same token, takes a little bit of pressure off of Tamba.
Tamba only had 22 yards last week in that effort against Robbinsdale. Cooper has 64 here tonight against Richfield. Brown back to pass, looking to his right. He's got an open receiver, and this one's going to go for, I believe, a first down. Nice grab that time, hanging onto the football. On the near side of the field was Park Center's Dominic Fees.
Fees does a nice job here, grabbing the ball and then getting turned upfield.
Fees was the one that had that creative play where he threw the ball backwards. So Flores on that, to Bailey on that punt return. It was a risky play, but it ended up kind of being the spark that started things for Park Center. Now the second first down of this possession for the Pirates, as they are now in the red zone down at the 15-yard line. Brown out of the gun. Here comes the pressure from Richfield. It's Brown steps away from one blitzing linebacker out to the left. Now gets away from another. He's tucked the ball and run. He's going to get across the 10-yard line. Good decision right there to run that football. And he picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, gets a good run out of it. Better to take a 4 or 5 yard gain than to force the ball into coverage.
Remember, Park Center put together back-to-back scoring drives in the second quarter and was about to put maybe a third one, but time ran out.
Right.
So they didn't really get stopped as much as time ran out. So here they go, kind of their 4th possession now in a row, Bill, where they've kind of built on some momentum and have some success. They're going to go to the I formation here now. Brown's going to step out under center, one receiver to each side, and it's going to be kind of a power give to the right side. Tamba kicks it out to the outside, using his speed to get to the edge. He gets across the 5-yard line. That's right where that first down marker is. And it looks like, from my eyes, it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and short upcoming. It's about a half-yard short of that first down.
Tamba does a good job of getting out on the flank, and Blackshear meets him out there with a pretty good one-on-one tackle. You like to see your corners being able to make a play like that.
How about the pair of Emmanuels? Emmanuel Tamba, Emmanuel Blackshear. They've been the 2 stars for each opposing offenses tonight, and Blackshear's been a stud on defense as well. Blackshear's been a nice player tonight for Richfield.
He's really done a nice job. He seems to be a pretty complete athlete.
3rd down and 1 from the 5-yard line. And that is not good timing for Park Center.
No, it's going to back them up 5 yards, make a 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 1. You got to manage the clock well. Players have to know what they got to have a feel for the clock and a feel for the timing and get things rolling.
Still an I formation here, and the kind of alignment in the backfield at that fullback spot. It's not their normal fullback. Back to pass. Oh, there was some serious contact, but that ball might not have been catchable.
It was pretty high, but there was some serious contact with the safety bringing the receiver down to the ground while the ball was in the air. We've seen a couple of pass interferences called tonight.
Yeah, that's clearly early. I mean, that's
a pretty healthy hit right there.
It's hard not to call that one, even though it looks a little uncatchable. It's just you don't want receivers getting drilled for going out for passes across the middle. If anything else, if it's not pass interference, it might be hitting a defenseless wide receiver.
Right.
I mean, you can't get hit like that when you're not making a play on the football.
Nope.
That's a tough call right there. Okay, here we go. 4th down. Brown back to pass. He's got an open receiver. It's caught, and it's good enough for a 1st down, not good enough for a touchdown, but it's still a big pickup for Tanner Stein.
Tanner Stein making his first catch tonight. That's a big one. 4th and 8 and getting a 12-yard gain. You see Stein does a nice job grabbing the ball, making a turn. Just about gets to the goal line, but he's about the 1-yard line.
Brown likes throwing the ball to the wide side of the field. He takes that deep drop, and he throws the ball a long ways. It's not far downfield. It's just using the wide side of the field. Yeah.
You're throwing the ball 40 yards there across the field, and sometimes that's a tough one not to get picked off, but that was well executed.
Out of the eye, they're going to give it to the fullback, and right up the gut and into the end zone for a touchdown as Park Center plunges in another one. I believe that's Eric Phillips, perhaps, taking it in. So again, those numbers are giving me issues. As it gets darker, it's harder.
Nice handoff to the fullback, getting the 1 yard that's needed.
That is Eric Phillips, backup fullback, who came in there, 5'10", 210 pounds. And here comes Aguilar on for the extra point, that's been pretty big tonight, too. For Aguilar just to pound those extra points, so that's going to make a difference in this ball game. So we have a 21-18 game now as both teams have scored 3 touchdowns, but Park Center is winning the kicking game.
There you go. Yeah, that was a nice possession by Park Center offense. Their first possession was, you see the extra point up and through, give the Pirates a 3-point lead. But that was a nice possession for the first possession of of the second half, after they'd had a good possession to end the first half, even though they didn't score. We get another look here at the fullback Phillips getting into the end zone. So they've had 3 different guys have scored tonight.
You know, the way that they're able to score when they get the ball down on the 1 and 2 yard line, you wonder if they couldn't just pound this one out a little bit more.
Right.
Put the ball in the I formation and just kind of play some power football with the Richfield a little bit.
Once you get enough of a lead, when you're trailing, that's hard to do. When you've got a 3-point lead, you've got to play things pretty even. But once you get a 1 touchdown or more lead, you can start to play those kinds of running plays and make things a little bit tougher for the defense. As we see a great coverage on the kick there.
A rare mistake there by Richfield on the kick return there, as he just didn't handle the ball very well.
Right.
When he went to go scoop it up, he scooped the ball up at the 12-yard line and was taken down immediately. So not good field position coming here for the Spartans. First down and 10 from their 12-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Carlson, play action fake, throws to Blackshear on the right side, but he was met quickly by 2 defenders from the Pirates. Reacting nicely to that one. Blackshear slow to get up after that 2-yard game. He's dealing with some cramping issues. It's usually what happens early on in the season, especially the athletes that are playing 2 ways. It happens every single year. These 2-way players who are asked to do so much. You can be in great shape, but your legs being in game shape is a whole different thing, and your muscles just aren't used to it.
Exactly, and like you said too, it's he's had a long night. He's on special teams. He's on offense and defense, and Emmanuel Blackshear is just having a little bit of a cramping issue there, and they need to.
And we got a couple more crampers down there. We're going to go down now to the sidelines with Tony Seaman. Tony.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Let's talk about a promising offensive drive there for Park Center to start the third quarter. Long drive sustained, going through the air and on the ground as well to find the end zone. But hearing Paul Strong talk to the offense when they came off the field, he just said repeatedly, we're going to grind them with the run. We're going to grind them with the run. So it looks like for the rest of this game, it's going to be the Park Center team we know. They're going to keep the ball on that ground, especially with Emmanuel Tamba playing so well in the third, guys.
Yeah, and I think that's what we kind of noticed too is, when they just get the ball between the tackles and let the running backs kind of kick it out, they've been pretty successful. It's been those negative plays tonight that's hurt Park Center more than anything. If they could just not shoot themselves in the foot, they'll be fine, right?
Yeah, their first 3 or 4 possessions of the game, they were going backwards as fast as they were doing anything, and their defense was a little bit iffy when the Spartans changed the tempo. The last quarter and a half, they've really been pretty good on both sides of the ball.
And they've definitely adjusted to the Blackshear, but now here comes a nice handoff up the middle on this one.
Wow,
what a good run by Howard as Howard takes this ball all the way out from the 13-yard line across the 30 up to the 38, a gain of 25 yards.
Yeah, in fact, they even spotted it at the 40. Oh, 39, yeah, you're right. Looked like they were going to put the ball in the 40, but it's at just inside the 39.
Howard gets it again, right up the gut he goes. Howard gets 6 yards on that first down and 10 carry.
And Howard's just saying, well, if Tamba can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, you go back to that fake punt, though, too. I have to think about that. Richfield just not playing the field position game there was just not a smart thing to do. They had a 3-point lead. They're up 18-14, 4-point lead. Now they have another player down. This is the third one in 3 plays that have gone down.
Right, but they've run the ball 3 times now and moved the ball very nicely all the way out to midfield with just 3 running plays. This is their big lineman.
He's working on what, a shoulder injury or something? Or
I don't know.
It's kind of a rare thing to be. A stinger?
Might have had a stinger. That's it.
Let's see if we can find out what maybe happened here. Far right, he's the right tackle. He goes down and cuts his guy, trips him, gets away with a penalty. Hey, how about that? I don't know how he got hurt, but he sure got away with a penalty.
Right.
It's called karma.
There you go.
You try to trip someone, you're going to get hurt.
There you go.
Kamani Forrest, who his right arm is stuck in the air. I've never heard that injured before.
No, I've not seen that one before.
I can't lower my right arm. He'll be a hit in math class when he's raising his hand. And
there you go.
Have to answer all the questions. We'll hope that's not too serious, Kamani. But
probably, like you said, Joe, it's probably some kind of a stinger of some variety. I've not seen that.
I've watched a lot of football, Bill. I've never seen someone get their arms stuck in the air. Kamani. The tripping one cracks me up, too. Those are one of the ones you never want to see on film. Did I do that?
Right.
Carlson throws it out of bounds. First down and 10. Lives to see another day type of incomplete pass.
Well, Kamani Forrest is the anchor of both their offense and defensive lines. They can't afford to have him out too long. And Carlson...
no, he's been a beast on defense, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlson, nice little slant to Schaefer over there.
Right.
That's a nice pickup. Schaefer's going to get close to that first down, be about 1.5 yards shy. 8-yard pickup there as Carlson and Schaefer connect.
And Carlson doing a good job now without Blackshear in there, spreading the ball around a little bit. Well done by Howard. Howard getting the ball up past the line to gain. And 3rd and about 3, gain of about 5. 1st and 10.
Howard's got 60 yards rushing now. Really come on strong. Carlson throws that one incomplete. Intended
to the unknown
to
player.
The unknown number 81.
the unknown receiver. Sorry about that. We've got a roster and there's no 81 on our roster for Richfield.
Just call him your favorite number 81. He can be Tim Brown or Anthony Carter. We'll go Tim Brown. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Carlson back to pass. He's looking deep. They're going back to Blackshear, and he's got him. Not into the end zone, but deep into Park Center territory. He's down at the 5-yard line. Oh boy, a gain of 28 for Blackshear.
Yep.
That's 1, excuse me.
Yeah.
7 looks like a 1 from this far away. My apologies. And that'll be Dylan J. Dago, who gets Jake Dago gets that one down to the 5-yard line. Yeah, Jake Deo. We need the pronunciations on that name. It's an interesting spelling, but Jake Deo gets that big play, filling in for Blackshear on a very similar play that Blackshear was so successful on. Now it's 2nd down and goal. Now we have too many players in the field for Park Center. Legal substitution.
Yep.
The good thing for Park Center, even if it's a penalty, it'll be half the distance of a very short goal line, but I mean, it still penalizes them. It's going to put the ball down to the 1 now rather than the 2. So 2nd down still and goal from the 1 now. Carlson out of the gun. It's amazing that some teams don't go under center in these situations. Shotgun, 2nd down and goal from the 1. Handoff goes right up the gut though, and Howard's into the end zone. Javante Howard into the end zone for the first rushing touchdown of the game for Richfield. And how about that? Right when we thought Park Center had all the momentum, Richfield
makes
loses
a nice
couple
comeback.
Key players. They get some players step out, and what do? They march right down the field and score another touchdown. That pass over the right side, I guess it doesn't matter who's in there.
Right.
That's been the successful.
And Jagdeo does as nice a job of running that route as Blackshear did. And
the extra point, which has been a trouble all night for Richfield, continues.
The adventure continues
to haunt them.
So now they've got a 3-point lead.
Dino Garcia.
But we're going right back and forth as we see Howard lunging into the end zone off of that dive play. That's a well-executed play. They get a little bit of push on the from the offensive line, and Javante Howard does a nice job of getting into the end zone. Now, both teams have had possessions where he scored, and so often, Joe, the defense, you know, once you score and you get a lead, the first thing you don't want to do is give the score right back. So we're getting a real good back and forth here between these two teams. But, you know, somebody's defense is going to have to step up here pretty soon.
24-21, Friday nights under the lights here at Park Center High School. It's been a great game, and I would say we're in for an unpredictable finish. I just don't know which way this is going to go. Every time I think a team grabs a hold of the momentum, there's some different answers. Now, I mean, Richfield's got a serious hydration problem on the far sideline. There is player after player being stretched out over there. Yeah, plus one that can't get his arm out of the air.
Yeah, there were 3 guys with being stretched out over there on the sideline.
On the return, here comes Park Center. Nice looking return. Get a block on the near side. Nice cutback across midfield. And a nice looking return for Park Center. When they get good field position, they make good things happen. That's Mitchell Meyer. We've seen him do it a couple times here tonight.
Yep. And you get the ball right out to the 49-yard line. Very good field position. Meyer does a good job. He runs a long, long way to get over to where his blockers are. But once he finds the seam, he does a real good job of getting up the sideline, make a guy miss, get upfield, another 5 or 6 yards after contact. Ball's out to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
Brown will go out of the shotgun with 2 receivers left, 1 to his right. Richfield bringing some pressure up the middle. It's been picked up quite nice. He's got all day to throw. Tries to hit Flores across the middle, who can't make the catch. Might have taken a late hit there, but no harm, no foul there. Throwing a little bit far behind Flores on that one, but he had a lot of time to operate on that.
Yeah, there was no pressure on him that time. And Flores just can't put the grabbers on. That's a catchable ball, but he just can't quite get the grabbers on it.
Interesting, after we talked about how they're going to run the ball, they come out and pass the ball on 1st down. I think that's what happens when you get scored on, right? You kind of you get a little more anxious. You want to push the pedal. You don't. Now 2nd down and 10. Then it's hard to go back to run the ball up the gut on 2nd down and 10. They're going to run the sweep to the near side of the field. Oh, nice run there by Hester. Montez Hester took that sweep to the right side, but he saw a soft spot on the defense. He cut it back pretty quickly there, and he picks up 8 yards as he gets across midfield into Richfield territory down to the 44.
And that's really a nice run. Hester's a nice trade-off with Tamba, because he's a little bit bulkier, he's a little bit bigger, and now we see with Hester in the backfield, Tamba comes out to the right-hand side as a receiver.
Brown back to pass on the far side. Ooh. Nice looking pass to Parker. Parker breaks a tackle, and Parker might go into the end zone for a touchdown. Levante Parker would not be denied on that one.
Boy, and he did a great job after catching the ball of breaking 2 or 3 tackles, forcing people to miss and running right out of the arms of a couple of guys.
Oh, it's coming back. There's a flag on the play. I did not see that flag at midfield.
Flag anywhere. No.
And
it was it was a late personal foul.
Ouch, that one's gonna hurt.
And it was 35 yards behind the play. That's what hurts. Somebody taking a cheap shot way after the play is over.
Now we don't even see the flag in the play, but look at that play by Parker. I mean, just unbelievable individual effort.
Boy, he just runs out of the arms of 4 different guys.
I mean, you just hope that for Park Center's sake, when they watch the wide, tape this week at film practice, that they see the penalty and come to grips with it, because that was a tough one to stomach.
It's a big one. That's a 15-yarder. It's a personal foul. Makes you 3rd and 8. So that's a That's a tough one. Not only costs you a touchdown, but it costs you a lot of field space.
Here we go, 3rd down and 8, big play nonetheless. Ball's at midfield now. And he's gonna come out under center. Brown with the split backs in the backfield. Tom on the left, Hester on the right. He's back to pass. Both running backs staying to help, but they don't help enough. He gets straight, Brown gets free. What a play by the quarterback, Jamel Brown. The running backs fell asleep a little bit. The blitz came from the outside. Anthony Sanders had him dead to right, but couldn't finish the sack. Brown shows some elusiveness and finds a receiver open down the field. What a tremendous play.
And Jamel Brown throws this ball under a lot of pressure, not only there as he spins out of the grass, but right there.
He had to jump, the jump throw.
Yeah,
that rolling to your left and that jump throw is not an easy throw to make, folks.
That's a very athletic move by Jamel Brown.
Wow.
Completing the pass, 3rd and 8, getting about a 10-yard gain. So keeping the Park Center offense alive here.
You don't see too many 10-yard gains that big of a play.
No.
Brown back to pass. He's under some pressure again. Sanders is a beast on that blitz, boy. I tell you, Brown gets away from him.
Hard,
now here comes a flag. I don't know. I mean, they're going to call push in the back.
Yeah,
but,
illegal block in the back.
But when you turn a guy around, I don't know if it's a push in the back. You know, a push in the back is meant to protect guys from getting hit from the blind side, not when you're already engaged with them.
No, that's a tough call.
Oh, I'd like to look at this one if we can pull it up again, folks.
And we'll see this now. This makes a huge, huge play. The ball's all the way back to the 35-yard line of Park Center, and the line to gain is the 30-yard line of Richfield. Now penalties have caught.
Yeah, that's a big one right there. I mean,
here we'll see the.
So watch the play. I mean, he does push from the back. Then I thought they were engaged.
Right. Well, there it is, right there. But
it's just not a. He didn't have to drill him. What he should have done is walled him off. I guess.
Walled him off. Yep. But still, you've lost a touchdown, as well as an awful lot of yardage here.
Nice screen play. Oh, it's gonna go.
Tamba got the speed.
And this is actually Tamba again. What a play. No flags on the play this time around. 65-yard screenplay. How's that for drama?
Boy, I tell you, the more things get weird, the more things get weird.
Emmanuel Tamba.
Emmanuel Tamba doing a nice job of catching the ball, getting upfield, and getting several nice blocks right when he needed them. Well executed play, nicely done by Jamel Brown as well to set the screen up. So now we're at 27-24 with Park Center looking to move the ball. Now it's 28-24. So in the second quarter we had Richfield. We see Tamba catching the screen, making a nice move, getting out on the sideline, using his speed to get upfield. But in the second quarter, we had again, we see this screen develop, and you can see the blocks being made. They don't look like great blocks, but offensive linemen downfield moving, that's a block.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to knock somebody down. You just got to keep them from getting to the running back. But my comment was at 18-14, Richfield had a 4-point lead, and the cost of those missed extra points have now made it a 4-point edge for Park Center.
Yeah, it could be easily a tie game. I mean, right?
Exactly.
We're looking at 4 touchdowns to 4 touchdowns.
Yep. And the difference, the difference of those extra points, it's a huge deal.
Howard takes the return, gets up the middle, jumps over a Park Center Pirate, gets across the 40. And hang on, folks. We still have 13 minutes and 33 seconds of football.
There we are.
This scoreboard is starting to light up. The Park Center offensively, for an offense that had started the game with 4 3-and-outs, Bill, they've scored 2 touchdowns, then ran out of time at the 10-yard line.
Right.
And then come back and scored 2 more touchdowns. I mean,
yeah, they've really put things together, and they've overcome some horrible adversity, particularly on that last possession.
We're going to have a stoppage of play here. I think Park Center took a timeout. I don't know that Park Center had the right personnel in the field there.
They might have only had 10 people out there.
It looked like they only had 10 out there. That's why I kind of agree, and that's a little dysfunctional after it. What I've seen a little bit too is you got to remember to enjoy the success of the moment, but you got to get your act together because every time they've scored a big touchdown now they've kind of given up a big play afterwards.
And you can't afford to do that.
Well, Friday Night Lights returns next week, and we got a good one for you once again. It's the Hopkins Royals against the Armstrong Falcons, live Friday, September 15th. Hey, those 2 teams are 0-1, and look how much fun we're having with 2 0-1 teams.
I mean, and somebody's going to be 0-2 here, but it's a very nicely contested game between these 2 teams, and both teams are playing very hard.
All right, first down and 10, the ball at the 41-yard line. Richfield and Park Center going back and forth here in the second half. Out of the shotgun, Carlson gives it up to Howard at the middle, and Howard's ground game continues to be strong here in the second half. He picks up 5 yards on first down. Howard's really picked it up now. He's up across 66 yards on 12 carries.
He's having a nice night, and they're doing a good job of getting him open in the middle of the line there.
It's always kind of a delayed handoff, and there he takes it again. Finds a little bit of running room, gets about 3 yards on that second down carry. It's going to bring up a long 3rd down and 2.
Right.
And we have a lineman down.
That's Kamani Forrest again. He's still having trouble with his right shoulder, I believe, although he's able to get it out of the air right now.
I wonder if he's dealing with some cramping issues too. And
wouldn't be surprised.
It's not manifesting itself in legs where you usually see it, but maybe it's upper body. I'm going to tell you something a little bit about my playing history, Kamani. And this is like, if you could do it all over again. I was once a guy who tried to play 2 ways at 300 pounds. It doesn't work that well.
It's hard to do.
I wish I would have shaved off about 30 or 40 my senior year of high school because I tried to be 2 ways and tried to be exactly what Kamani is for his team at that size, and it's just a little bit more difficult, And I would deal with these types of cramps.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a leg cramp now, so he's cramping all over it.
And he's a good football player. And I feel really bad for him now. It's weird. The funny thing about cramps is there's probably sometimes no more painful injury, but it's temporary. That's the only good thing.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of hydration and getting your muscles to relax.
And it's only gonna last for a minute, but yeah.
His is gonna last for a few more minutes than a minute.
It's gonna be a little bit longer, but yep.
All right, here we go. 24-28. Poor Kamani's going to work his way to the bench, and I feel bad for that young man right now.
Because that cramps are really uncomfortable.
3rd down and 2. Fake handoff up the middle. Nice little slant. Sanders has it with some speed into the secondary. He's got a first down and much more as he takes that down to the 31-yard line.
And another nice pass play. Well executed by Caleb Carlson, hitting Anthony Sanders right in stride on that slant, right into the linebacker zone.
32-yard line, first down and 10. Handoff goes right back up the middle. Devontae Howard continuing to get strong here in the second half. Another nice solid pickup. When he gets 5-6 yards on first down, puts Richfield in great shape.
Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. We're going to be running down here the last 20 seconds here of the third quarter.
Nice slant across the middle, catching that ball in traffic, paying the price, but getting the first down, and look who's back in the game.
Blackshear, yeah, and here they brought him back on they ran the underneath receiver ran out into the flat, so Emmanuel Blackshear could get that dig route in, and that was really well executed. That's the end of the quarter.
So the third quarter comes to an end, but there's no doubt in my mind that we have an exciting 12 minutes of football awaiting you here on CCX. We'll be right back.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Back at Park Center High School on, again, a gorgeous night here. You know, football can be so interesting in Minnesota with the weather patterns that can come through the states. And, you know, with that, just kind of a quick little shout out. I don't think anyone from Florida is watching us, but, you know,
probably not.
For all those people prepare for the weather that's coming the way this week, and all our thoughts are with them. Hopefully everything kind of works out. But it's affecting sports in a big way and disrupting the lives of many people. So we hope everything works out. But we focus now here on the fourth quarter, 28-24. We're in for a doozy here. Richfield driving, trying to regain the lead. First down and 10. Carlson looking to his right, throwing to the end zone, and knocked incomplete. Good defensive coverage down there by Park Center, responding to some of those deep balls that have been thrown into the end zone. Nice defense over there by Rudy Peel, who came in and broke that ball up.
And Jagdeo is not quite able to bring that one down. Well played, boy. He had the receiver, Jagdeo, had his hands on it, knocked out by the safety.
Augustine Yond makes that play as he comes over and knocks it away, 27. Give goes right back up the middle, and it's successful again as Howard finds some running room, gets inside the 15, down to the 12. Gain of 5 yards on that second down carry. And it brings up third down and 5. Carlson again, no huddle, of course, all night long for Richfield. 2 receivers to each side now. Fake handoff, and now a slant, and he was all over him. Sanders, I mean, surprised not a flag coming. That ball might have been tipped, though, and you can get away with the pass interference if it was tipped. I think, fortunately, it was tipped, even though the referees are not indicating that. But Sanders got grabbed onto right away.
Yeah, he got. And he was in a crowd, too.
All right, fourth down and 5, or fourth down and 7. Never saying, I think it's fourth down and 6, we'll call it. But 3 receivers to the right, 1 left. They're going to go left. He's looking to Blackshear. Blackshear was covered, rolls to his right, finds an open receiver, but overthrows Sanders, who was wide open.
Wow.
And that will do it for that possession for Richfield. So we see Park Center's defense kind of bend but don't break. And Carlson with kind of a rare, misfire right there. He's usually been pretty on target here tonight and just missed Sanders.
Right, and Park Center has switched their secondary now. They're going a double over and under coverage with a corner and a safety on Blackshear. And they're depending on a linebacker to cover the inside receiver on the 2 or 3 receiver side away from Blackshear. So that's a big change for the defense. But if it takes Blackshear out of the picture, it's a plus for them, which is exactly what happened on that play.
And in the NFL, you can't really do that because a linebacker can't guard a 4th receiver. But in high school, sometimes your 4th receivers may not be able to get
not going to be a 4-2 guy.
Yeah, it's not a guy that can maybe really outrun a linebacker or even have the hands that you want to go to him to exploit that matchup. Oh my goodness, what a that run right there. Emmanuel right back at it for Park Center. Tamba finds some running room right side, takes that ball from the 12 all the way out to the 37-yard line.
Well, that was another nice sweep, and Park Center's offense now has started to wear a little bit maybe on the Richfield defense. Richfield not penetrating like they were in the first half, and Emmanuel Tamba getting out and breaking tackles and using his speed to get very good yardage. Tom is probably well over
well, he's got 96 rushing yards, but 75 receiving yards. So he's so all-purpose. He's sitting at about 169.
Right, and he'll probably be well over 100 by the time by the time the night is over. So he's been a very good all-round player.
Look at this wishbone offense here. Look at wishbone. Some misdirection in the backfield. It does not work out. They just threw that in practice on Thursday. They haven't worked on that one.
That one, they looked like they lost the map on that one.
That was not the Cordell Stewart, Rashad Salam, Colorado, Buffalo wishbone that we saw in 91.
No.
Tom Osborne, not the way he designed it, right?
No, not that one.
Loss of 4 on that one. Was Brown kind of some.
You know, and I was a little bit surprised here because that's a really nice power formation too. You got 1 or 2 lead blockers, and you got a real good counter options there as well. And you run a formation and you get your quarterback out to wander around a little bit, delay a game now.
It's a little bit of confusion here on Park Center's offense. They got to get it together. This is what we saw in the first quarter from the Pirates, and they want to show off what they did in the second and third quarter.
Exactly. And now that they've got a little bit of a lead, I'm sure they would be much more comfortable wanting to move the ball aggressively here. And I think that's what that 4-back formation, that wishbone type formation, was designed to do. It just didn't execute very well.
Flores in motion. He's going to get the end around. Flores got some running room, but the Spartans quickly close in on him. Nice job defensively, kind of taking that running room away in a hurry.
Exactly.
On the penetration there was Javante Howard, of course, the star running back, showing that he's a darn good linebacker too. Runs him down.
There's pretty good pressure all the way across the line of scrimmage on that play. Really didn't have a chance to develop. So now we're 3rd and about 18.
This Richfield team's interesting. I think they're obviously not a great football team. There's not a lot of depth, but they have 3 or 4 really good football players.
They do, and they got guys that really sell out. They've had some guys selling out, and they're playing some second-line guys in their defense right now, and they're doing a pretty decent job.
There's one of those long throws, but it's not long down the field as Brown hurls it over to the right side, to the wide side of the field, and finds Tanner Stein. Stein makes the catch in the open field, circles away from one guy and kind of gets forward up to the 43.
That's a long pass, but Tanner Stein does a nice job of catching the ball and getting it back upfield, but it is going to be 4th and about 5.
They needed 19 yards there and got about 14.
It's hard not to like a 14-yard play, but it still didn't get the first down. Oh, jeez.
Not good news right there for Park Center.
Sometimes if you don't have bad luck, you have no luck at all. And that one was the punter was just way too close to the line of scrimmage. He kicked the ball, hit the backside of the blocker, and it came right back to him. You can see he steps up, boom, hits right in the back of the blocker and comes right back. Fortunately, it comes right back to the punter. Otherwise, that might have been a touchdown for Richfield going the other way. But Richfield gets good field position.
And let's see if they can make something happen with it. They usually have tonight when they get good field position. They've made it pay. That right there could end up in the football follies.
There you go.
Javante Howard with another run up the middle there. Gain for 3 yards. And you kick it right off the back of your blocker. That's interesting. There's throw down the field.
Oh.
And he couldn't quite make the catch. Nice response defensively as he got back into the play there. Brooks for Park Center was beat initially, but used his closing speed, and now we have another Richfield player down.
That's Jagdeo. Not exactly sure what the concern is there.
Oh, he probably should have had that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Might have twisted up a little bit as he was
he
turning.
got twisted up as he hit the ground. Again, whether it's a cramping issue or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you hope it's a cramp and not a knee.
Right.
Dylan Jadeo with one of the touchdowns here tonight, the 4th touchdown for the Spartans. And unfortunately for Richfield, I think he's actually dealing with a little bit of a knee. They're going to just kind of let him walk it off a little bit. Sometimes you hyperextend your knee and it's not as bad as you think. It kind of freaks you out a little bit. It ends up not being too bad. We'll see. Get the referees let him play while he's off the side. He's off the field, so maybe we'll just continue play. 3rd down and 8. This is a big play upcoming here for Richfield to get back into this game here. Down by 4. I'd say they're probably in 4-down territory, unless you want to just punt them and put them really deep. But I'm guessing unless you lose yards here, you're going to go for it.
Right. And kicking has been an adventure for both teams this evening, so I'm thinking that they're going to throw the ball.
And Park Center did not bring pressure that time. They tried to hit Blackshear on the slant across the middle. I personally I would get a little aggressive here. I pooch punt it down.
Right.
See if you can't get them deep and see what your defense can do and get the ball back quickly. I don't know.
Yeah, if you can get, if you can.
Just remember what happened to Park Center last time they punted the football, and maybe you can force them to have to punt again. Richfield's going to take the timeout.
Yeah, I think that's a good timeout to take. It's a fairly critical juncture of the game. We've got 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game.
It comes down to what you believe in. Do you believe your defense can make a stop, right?
Exactly.
Or do you believe you can convert on one play in 8 yards?
Right, and it's like we've said all night, neither team has done really well when they've had the ball deep in their zone. So inside the 40-yard line, if like you said, Joe, if they pooch punt it, you got to get the ball inside the 10, inside the 15, or even to the 10-yard line. And if it goes into the end zone, you're not really gaining much. You're only gaining about 16 yards in field position. Actually, you're only gaining about 14 yards. So the idea, but the trade-off is if we can get these guys down in deep, maybe we get the ball back at midfield or even inside their zone after a 3 and out. And I would not be afraid to punt the ball and just try to, like you said, pooch it down there and get it down to about the inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line.
That's what I would do, but they're going to be aggressive here and go for an offense. Now let's keep our eye on Blackshear. He's up at the top of the screen, left side, and he's creating some space for himself. And boy, did he ever! Did they give him? I mean, he really pushed off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
big league.
He's not a
big push off right there.
I mean, if they're going to let him do that, it's a whole new ball game, right? But
exactly.
he come up there and he extended his arms and he ran that slant, or ran that hook rather. That's a pretty powerful hitch.
Right.
Take a look here. I don't know if you can see it, but all that distance he got between the cornerback was a shove.
And we got a nice run by Howard, but a flag on the play right about the line of scrimmage.
Let's see what the call is here.
It's going to be. It's in the area where you usually see a hold call, but it looks like it's going to be something against Park Center.
Yeah, it seems like he was
another
personal foul.
Another personal foul. It's their third personal foul tonight. I didn't see where the personal foul occurred, but that's another major penalty that's going to put the ball now inside the 15-yard line.
Well, that's a really quick one.
Right. That came from the umpire.
Go back one more time if we can. I think I saw something there. We're going to start playing here. Quick substitution for Park Center as they work off the field, and we're going to set this football here in a moment. It's first down and goal from the 8-yard line after that penalty call. Watch 60. I don't really see it. Now here comes a run play up the middle for Richfield. It's going to get about a 5-yard gain down to the 2. Well, Richfield looking to try to get into the end zone here with just over 7 minutes to go. Now a Park Center player goes down with some cramping issues.
Well, it's not that warm a night. It's, you know, and a lot of times you think, well, cramps occur in the warm weather, but it's, you know, I've seen them occur in cold weather too. It has more to do with the hydration and things like that issue.
Well, Park Center this year has a schedule that I think actually they can put some wins together. They play at Coon Rapids next week, then they play against North St. Paul and Irondale on Friday, September 29th. And to me, those are all winnable football games. I think this is going to be a better year for Park Center Pirate football than we saw a year ago. And the schedule gets a little bit tougher towards the end of the year with Spring Lake Park and De La Salle, but early on they should be able to get some wins.
Irondale took Spring Lake Park apart last week.
Into the end zone for a touchdown now, Javante Howard. And what just was an interesting drive. It's a lot of penalties, a lot of weird stuff happening on the drive. We'll see how Park Center responds. They seem to have, I don't know if they're responding the proper way right now to adversity. Let's see how it goes. But Richfield now with a 2-point lead. Extra points have been an adventure all night long, and this one's a big one.
Well, they're going to try to kick again.
So on to attempt. This will be his 4th try here tonight. Dino Garcia. Of course, they've went for 2 once and not been successful, but this is his 4th attempt for Garcia. And let's see. It's short and not through the uprights. Might have been blocked a little bit, and Park Center continues to.
Well, things are getting a little bit chippy out there.
Yep. So 30-28 now. So it's.
Here we see Howard.
Howard into the end zone.
Yep. Very well executed. Got a good block at the line of scrimmage.
That
pressure right up the middle. Somebody took either a guard or center completely flat on his back and got in the way of that kick.
Javante Howard, 2nd rushing touchdown of the night, and he's really picked things up here in the second half. Up around 85 yards now unofficially with a couple of touchdowns. Well, which defense is going to make a stop first? Is the last team?
It's going to be the last guy that has the ball.
Here we go, 30-28, 7-11 to go in the 4th quarter. Park Center will their offense be able to respond once again. The offense has been successful in scoring in its last few possessions. Of course, ran on it. The last one they did not. They went for it on 4th down, did not convert. Here comes another nice, it's been a really successful kick returner all night long there.
Going to get pretty good field position for the Pirates. Here we have another Spartan player.
Myers did a good job on the kick returns all night long for Park Center, giving them good field position.
Exactly.
Another Richfield player down. Ball will be spotted at the 31-yard line when play resumes. And, you know, the cramping and the stoppages of plays have really messed with the flow of this game, too. We had such good flow in that 3rd quarter. It was back and forth. It was getting pretty fun. I got to tell you, between the penalties, the cramping, and the kind of the chippiness and the chirping after the whistles has really messed with the flow of this football game. We got a 30-28 thriller, and it doesn't feel that thrilling right now. It feels like, okay, what's going to happen next here?
Pretty good size hit. That
was a big hit.
Yeah, big hit.
That's not a cramp.
And not a cheap shot, no.
It's a big-time hit. Gorshey is down hurt for Richfield. We'll take a look at some of the upcoming broadcasts for CCX Sports. It's a big week coming up here. We got soccer, Centennial at Maple Grove. Both boys and girls at 5 and 7 o'clock this week. Volleyball, Bloomington Jefferson against Benilde St. Margaret's Thursday night. And there's the football matchup again, Hopkins at Armstrong. And then on Monday, nice matchup there with Maple Grove, the Crimson at the Trojans of Wayzata on September 18th. A lot of sports action here on CCX. What an outstanding opportunity for local residents to be able to watch their high school athletes play on live TV. No other community does it better.
Nope, and been doing it for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I think we're at least in our 30th year of broadcasting high school sports.
Well, Gorshey's back on his feet and walking to the sidelines, and we'll see how things go here. Park Center.
We just had a flag on the play for an unsportsmanlike conduct
I said there's
against Richfield.
Yeah, there's a lot of chirping on the field saying.
Exactly.
So a 15-yard dead ball foul. I don't think they're too happy with what happened to Gorshey there.
No, but that was a clean hit. It was blindside, but it wasn't a cheap hit. And somebody got really chippy on with something going on there, because it was a long time that Gorshey was on the field.
Now back to pass, pump fake. He's looking deep, and he's got his receiver open. Blackshear can't make the tackle, and this one's going to go for a touchdown.
Wow.
Unbelievable as they connect once again with Levante Parker. And Park Center, it takes one play to answer the call, and they are back in the lead. That lead did not last long for Richfield. I'll tell you what, I think about going for two here, Bill. You go for two, you get up by 6. Richfield has proven that they can't get the extra points.
Right.
You might give yourself a little cushion, right?
Yeah.
I would go for 2 here. Aguilar on to attempt the extra point, give them a 5-point lead. Like, to me, 5 is no different than 4.
Right. I agree.
In this game, their kicking game does not matter. 5 does not. 5 is no different than 4. I would try to get up by 6.
Yep. I agree that 100%.
Here, take a look at this play again.
Nice fake by Brown.
It's the protection, too, though.
Right.
I mean, he had so much time on that one, and Blackshear just...
Surprised to see, because Blackshear has made some very nice open field plays. He just is not able to make the tackle on that pass completion. That's a huge play. When you can answer a touchdown with one play, that's a huge thing.
And Parker's done that one other time tonight, but it got called back. So this one here stands. It's a big play for Parker.
So now they'll put the ball back in Richfield's hands.
Levante Parker with a big play, 53-yard touchdown reception. Aguilar, and catching it on the run. This could be dangerous. That was a low kick. Well, flag on the play.
Javante Howard doing a nice job of picking his way. Gets out over the 35-yard line, but as you said, Joe.
I thought that was dangerous to kick a line drive to Javante Howard. That gives him a lot of time to set up the blocks.
Let's see what kind of a infraction we have here.
The sideline infraction.
Sideline infraction.
The coaches were, so it's a sideline infraction.
I'll tell you, if the linesman, either of the linesmen, feels like their ability to move along the sideline is impeded, they're gonna do that. When you take a look on the sideline, we can see that there's a gold band along the sideline there. That's the neutral zone. Everybody there should be nobody in that zone on the gold paint.
Caleb Carlson on a shotgun, gives it right up the gut there.
Man.
Late hit there, it looks like. Their flag. I think the referees are trying to nip this in the bud a little bit by making some of these calls. That was Josh Peterson with his first carry of the night.
And the personal foul comes as the player is thrown to the running back, is thrown to the floor.
Well, which team's going to gain the composure first? You know, that seems like the other way that, you know, which team's going to be poised enough to just to get it together and not get a penalty right now.
And certainly Park Center has had their share of bad penalties. You know, four personal fouls or, you know, or late hit penalties like that, those just kill you. And to have 4 of them in one game is really tough.
This ball is tipped and not intercepted. That one could have been dangerous, but Anthony Sanders had that ball thrown a little bit high, but Sanders maybe should have came down with it, but tipped it high in the air there, and that was dangerous.
Right, those are balls that a lot of times you see get picked when they get popped up in the air like that.
On those slants, though, you do want to hit a guy in the chest as opposed to throwing it high, because you want him to catch it nice and secure in his midsection. Oh, what a blitz. Amazing timing on that blitz. That was an incredible football play right there up the gut. We'll try to get you his number. I tell you, these front jersey numbers I cannot read. It's 52. That was great timing there by Jared Bradford. Watch Bradford time that one out, get into the backfield, and keep his hands off the face mask and finish the tackle.
And stay with it. He lost Howard for a second and stayed with the tackle.
Big time play by Bradford. 3rd down and long now. Across the middle. Sanders this time makes the catch. Oh my goodness. He bobbled it 3 or 4 times, but he comes up with a huge grab.
Only counts as 1 catch though.
22-yard gainer into Park Center territory, and they move the chains on 3rd down and long.
A huge effort here. Well covered, ball bouncing around his hands and his helmet. And Sanders does a nice job of staying with the play.
Right up the gut goes Javante Howard for a gain of 14. Richfield's offense just comes in spurts sometimes.
Yeah, they'll have 2 or 3 big plays in a row.
Out of the gun, 2 receivers to each side. They keep coming at you. Now it's Javante Howard. Now we have a flag in the middle. This probably is in holding territory. That'll be a drive killer. Ooh. Richfield's clapping, so I think
another personal foul.
Slap to the head. Yeah.
Boy, that's a 5th personal foul tonight. If this ends up not going Park Center's way,
you're gonna look at that.
That's exactly where I'd look. Personal fouls, those are discipline issues. Those are not. That's just composure. And now the ball's 1st and goal obviously inside the 10-yard line at about the 7.
They give it to Howard. Now we got another flag right in the middle. He's into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night, but is that going to stand? Most likely not.
No, the referee throws a flag that quickly. That's a pretty obvious hold somewhere along the left side of the offensive line.
Javante Howard's 3rd touchdown is not going to stand. Let's see what Caleb Carlson and offense will do here to make up for that. Ball's probably going to get put back on about the 17-yard line now. I'm not able to keep up with the penalties and yards. Both these teams had 3 penalties and 30 yards and penalties in the first half, and now we've got to be approaching 100 yards and penalties.
At least, for both teams.
Caleb Carlson out of the gun, 2 receivers each side, fakes the handoff, now throws it to Sanders out in the flat. Sanders gets upfield, knocked out of bounds at about the 6-yard line, back past the original line of scrimmage. Nice play there by Richfield, all in timing, you know, just that fake handoff.
Exactly.
Sanders opens up.
We got a Park Center player on the sideline.
Sanders kind of ran a couple of Pirates over there as he finished that play. He had a little Adrian Peterson to him in the way that he finished that play. You see the referees, another thing they're being a little bit more strict with here tonight is, and I appreciate it, but they're not allowing these injuries to be timeouts for the coaching staff. They've been trying to keep the coaches from the opposing team away from the players.
Yeah, Mitch Mayer, that's a stinger there. He got his shoulder bumped.
So when play resumes, it's 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. In the pass, Richfield has called upon their running back, Javante Howard, to get things done here inside the 10. 2 receivers to each side. Javante Howard, of course, the lone back in the backfield. He's going to get the carry-off tackle left side, and he's going to get a few.
Gain of a couple yards.
Down to about the 3. And a big 3rd down play upcoming. You got 2 cracks at it right here. You're going to go for it no matter what.
Yeah, you have to.
Given the score and your kicking. 3rd down and goal from the 4. Sanders was in motion there, but they gave it off to the running back, of course. He's got every carry except for 1 here tonight from the backfield. Javante Howard, the workhorse for the Spartans, gets it down to about the 2, and they're going to see if he can plunge it in on 4th down, perhaps. Now, is there another play? I mean, the running game is so simple for them. It's really, it puts you in a difficult scenario. I mean, there's no trickery or anything to the running game. It's we're either giving it to them or faking it to them, and there's nothing else there.
Right, but you can also
a quarterback run, perhaps.
You can have a quarterback run and have him
follow him through the
ride Howard and see if he can pick up, get somebody crashing down the line of scrimmage and find a seam against the grain a little bit. But yeah, when you've only got a 1 running back offense, it's really hard. The quarterback has proved that he can run, but he's not a primary runner in this offense.
This is a big play right here. It's the one saving grace for Richfield is if you don't get it, you're giving Park Center the ball at the 1 or 2 yard line.
Exactly.
So it's not game over here.
No, absolutely not by any stretch. And by the same token for Park Center, if you give up a score, you're going to be down by 1.
But you just scored in 30 seconds last time.
Right. So you've got to have some confidence in your offense. But I think right now, defensively, they need to sell out. Park Center needs to sell out and make sure that they get good penetration in every seam, every gap between the offensive linemen, get good penetration and make something happen in the Richfield backfield. Otherwise, you're going to give up a score.
Jake Dale and Sanders are on the right side. It's Sanders. They're calling his number, but they threw it short of the 1st down, and he's tackled in the open field and then shoved down. Got to be careful there, son. Michael Bailey.
Get another personal foul here.
Michael Bailey makes a great tackle into the open field. I like the play call, calling Sanders on a little rub play, but they didn't rub him.
He didn't get enough of a rub.
He didn't get deep enough before he got the out. You're in a.
In fact, actually lose yardage.
Yeah, it's a very flat out pattern where, he's got to get to the end zone where he catches that ball, right? I mean.
Right. Yeah, especially on a 4th and goal, you've got to make sure that you get to the spot on the field where you need to be.
Yeah, it was a cool route where he took a couple steps like it was going to be a slant and then came out.
Right.
But just didn't get deep. All right, here we go. Pitch play goes to the right side. And look at him go. He's done it again. Into the open field goes Tamba. Tamba across the 50. If he goes, it's a 94-yarder. Emmanuel Tamba having the second half of his life.
We've got an injured Spartan on the field, but remarkably for Park Center, no penalty flags. That's got to be one of the longest runs from scrimmage
tonight.
Not only tonight, but maybe even in Park Center history. 94 yards, anything over 80 yards running is that's highly unusual.
A 4th down stop at the goal line, followed by a 94-yard touchdown. Now, Park Center has scored 2 touchdowns in 3 plays now on their last 3 plays. I mean, they have. No, not even. It was two touchdowns in 2 plays. The Howard play was the first play, I believe, after the penalty.
Right.
Or the Parker one, excuse me, Parker.
Yeah.
Parker got the big touchdown. 53-yarder, that was after a 15-yard penalty, and now they get. Yeah. So the last 2 plays have gone for touchdowns.
And 100
covering 140 yards. Yeah.
150 yards and 2 touchdowns on 2 plays in about 30 seconds of clock time. That might be the hardest thing for Park Center to deal with, is that there's still almost 4 minutes to go in the game.
Well, we'll see how Richfield responds. But Aguilar, who has been kind of a silent hero tonight too, he's the one that's getting him the breathing room all night long.
Right.
I mean, keep in mind, it's only 6 touchdowns to 5 touchdowns. It's a 12-point lead, but because Aguilar has been 6 for 6 from extra points,
exactly,
that lead is 6 points more.
We see the toss sweep. That early in the game, this was not a very good play. This got stopped a lot, but they kept running it, and Tamba has gotten better and better, and 94 yards for the touchdown.
Richfield just appears to be running out of gas.
Yeah, you see guys missing tackles, and Emmanuel Tamba really stretching out and getting the ball downfield there.
Well, Richfield perhaps has not shot all its bullets yet. I mean,
no. See what happens on the kickoff. You never know what can happen. You get good field position, a good 1 or 2 good plays, you get a quick touchdown. Things can happen.
Aguilar with a little kind of a high kick there. It's handled. Now finally picked up by the nameless 81, Tim Brown. And he takes it up to the 34-yard line. 3:51 to go. Richfield down by 2 touchdowns now, basically. I mean, they're really down by a touchdown and 6 extra points, but let's see what senior quarterback Caleb Carlson still has left in the tank. He's got trips wide receivers to his right on the near side, 1 to the left. Carlson back to pass. He's looking to his 1 receiver. Double coverage. Still throws it his way. That should have been intercepted. And that one falls incomplete. But
they're double covering. They're double covering that single receiver now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is now, too, because that time it was Sanders.
Right.
And they're saying, we know what you want to do. You want to
run that.
You want to put the guy on the island. He's no longer on the island. You can't just throw that ball over there.
And he's getting pretty healthy double coverage there.
You got to find a way to use that trips to get somebody open then. 2 receivers each side, still out of the gun. Carlson looks hard to his left. Now he's going to go down. And a flag comes in late, but he was sacked. The flag has nothing to do with the sack, though, because he was pummeled there from the backside by Ryan Schnobrick, who's had a very good game tonight.
Schnobrick's done a good job tonight.
Pirates,
He's really been very solid on both sides of the scrimmage. Oh, my goodness, face mask, another 15-yarder.
In Park Center, the defensive line must just be getting their hands up in the face a little bit. Oh, that's a tough call. He grabbed the back of the helmet of 60. I saw what happened there. So you look on the top of your screen there. It was Shakur Debs grabs the kind of the back of the helmet of the Josh Anderson left tackle and pulls him down.
Oh, wow, that's an illegal play, period.
Carlson looks to his left, finds Sanders on a little out pattern. He gets somewhat horse collar down. Yeah, he got kind of a little high tackle there by Bailey.
It didn't look like it was actually a horse collar, because a horse collar's got to be from behind.
Yeah, a little around the neck, kind of.
Yeah.
2nd down and 7 after that 3-yard gain. Carlson in the shotgun again, 2 receivers to each side. And we have a flag. And
illegal procedure.
A false start on the right guard.
Yep.
The referees are going to need to ice their arms tonight. All the flags they've been tossing around the field.
And they haven't really been throwing them for phantom calls. I mean, there've been some pretty legitimate penalties that have been called tonight.
Carlson misfires on that. Throw to the outside to 8-1. They'll bring up 3rd down and 12 now. And we have a flag on the play.
Surprisingly.
What is the call here? It's going to be an automatic 1st down. It's another personal foul.
15, another personal foul. My goodness.
Personal foul on Park Center.
Coach Strong going to have a couple of long conversations with the lads this week about maintaining their composure, I believe.
Now, I don't see a hill around here anywhere, but back in my high school, my high school was built on a hill, and we ran hills for personal fouls. And they're going to have to go take a bus to a hill somewhere nearby here and run some hills. Even if they escape with a victory. Carlson out of the shotgun still, under 2.5 to go. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Carlson looks, now gets away from the pressure. He's still looking downfield and cannot connect there. Abdeo. And you see this Richfield momentum just kind of slowly ticking away. Of course, Blackshear's not in the game anymore. That's a big factor, right? I mean, you got a guy who had 3 touchdowns in the first half, unable to go here in the second half with any consistency, and it just changed the outcome of this game tremendously. Now, Park Center's done a good job responding and double teaming that single receiver on the opposite end of the trips, but I would think, though, at some point, too, and this is not to be, I'm not a football, these football coaches work hard and grind and know more about football than I do, I'm sure, but they got to develop a little more of a differentiation in their running game, too. You can't just, it can't be every handoff's a delayed handoff to your guy out of the shotgun, right? I mean,
no. You've got to threaten at least 2 spots on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, there's no pulling, there's no traps, there's no, it's just basically a delayed handoff every time. And as good as your running back is, he can't continue to beat every single guy. And as a lineman, I used to like having different angles and different ways to approach my guys, right? I mean, there's a reason why people pull and trap and sweep. And after that 1st down, Richfield goes back to the air. Carlson throws this one out of bounds. Could connect with Jadeo.
Another flag.
And a flag on the play. We might have a holding pass interference call coming up here. I don't get how a game goes from having 6 penalties in the first half to
600 in the second.
Yeah.
Well, there's in my mind, there's something that has created a kind of a chippy attitude on both sides here.
And the refs have just been like, it looks like an older group of refs, like they're mature, like they're just going to call everything. If you wanted to play like this, guys, then we're going to call it.
And there are some guys that have made some cheap shots and some things like that, and they're getting called for it. And they're not cutting them any slack with it. There's an illegal.
Nice little run there by the quarterback. He showed a nice ability to do that here this evening when he needs to. As Caleb Carlson scampers out of there. Carlson started, I think, 1 game last year against Chanhassen, threw a couple of touchdowns, had a decent game as a junior last year, filled in 1 time, and then maybe got some spot duty in 1 game that it was out of hand. Other than that, he didn't have a lot of varsity experience, and he looks pretty poised quarterback coming in tonight.
Yeah, he's got good composure back there. He doesn't seem to get rattled too badly by pressure and things like that. He's been sacked a couple times. He's, some things have been not all that much fun for him back there. But now we've got completed pass looks like for a first down, but we have two Park Center guys collided with each other on the far sideline. It was a rather ugly collision. One guy was accelerated from behind by a Richfield receiver, I believe.
Onto his feet now is Shantez Hester, who's
you see right here.
A very big part of their offense and defense. Yeah, that's
see that's a
knee.
And that's been called an illegal block in the back many times tonight, and didn't get called on that play. Is that Tez Hester?
That's Hester. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, these guys I live on opposite ends of the Twin Cities, but I think a rivalry is being built here a little tonight
right.
between Park Center and Richfield.
Seems like it,
These
yeah.
two teams don't like each other too much right now, I don't think. Richfield trying to get back into this game with a minute and a half to go. Second down, a couple yards to go out of the shotgun. Carlson back to pass, looking, he's under pressure, throws it across the middle. It's dropped. I thought that was the game over interception, but no, it falls incomplete. Oh boy, what a ball game he would have had. That's Schoenbrick, and he's had a big game, and he also picked one up earlier in the game and thought he had a touchdown. And
exactly,
he's had the ball in his hands a couple times here tonight.
As you well know, Joe, that linemen don't get to touch the ball very often.
There's a ball on the ground again. What happens here? Into the end zone. I think we got a touchback.
It shouldn't be a safety. It can't be a.
No, Park Center ball should be a touchback.
Should be a touchback, yeah.
So a big defensive stand. How about that? 2 defensive stands though late in this game.
Right.
For as much of an offensive game this has been, that ball pops up before his knee hits the ground.
Yep.
Right? He went off the referee's foot too.
Yep.
So, it could have been someone else getting on that ball had it not hit the ref there.
Richfield has played. They've been very competitive tonight. They've had a couple of bad plays, and they've been victimized by big plays here in the fourth quarter. And I don't know. I don't know how many penalties we've had tonight, but that's an awful lot to think about for a coaching staff. Even though you know the thing is you've had a nice win, and you've come back and played pretty well. But like you said, that hill might get worn out this week.
They give it to the fullback out of the eye on first down and 10, and pretty decent pickup there for the fullback. The backup fullback getting that carry. Eric Phillips, he's coming in for Hester a couple times tonight, gets the ball, shows that he can do what he can when he gets his number called. Time continues to run here. Probably about 2 more plays.
Yeah, if this one goes under 40, then this will be the last play of the game.
Park Center trying to match its win total from a year ago in week 2. Last year was a tough year for the Pirates football program, but it looks like they're able to come back here. Phillips with a nice run and a stiff arm and into the open field. Watch that ball. And he's down at the 32-yard line as he got ran down. Great hustle from a Richfield player that never gives up.
Right.
And J.O. runs him down.
J.O. does a nice job there.
A lot of kids might just give up in that situation. He ran him down. Look at Phillips, though. Might have to give him the ball a little bit more.
Exactly.
Looked pretty good.
But now you got to run one more play.
Clock stops in the timeout after the first down, but then they reset and started up again. I think we're good. Oh, they're going to run one more anyways.
Yeah, I don't know if they need to run a play or not, but
let's give the ball to Phillips one more time. And they're going to let
it run out. Yep. There he goes.
And there we go.
And that's it.
Park Center gets its record back to 500. They're 1-1 after a week 1 loss to Robbinsdale Cooper, one of their rivals. They built a new rival here tonight in the Richfield Spartans. A nice victory for the Park Center Pirates and Coach Strong.
Yeah, Park Center did a nice job tonight. They overcame a lot of adversity. They had, you know, some not very good things happen at times, and yet they fought through it and did a good job. They've got some obvious things to work on, but their offense is dynamic, and they really did play hard tonight.
And how about the play of Emmanuel Tamba? He had the 94-yard touchdown that put the nail in the coffin.
Yep.
Put them up by 2 scores. Unofficially, 190 yards rushing tonight, 75 yards receiving. An amazing night for Emmanuel Tamba. 3 touchdowns. And a special night for him. So the Park Center Pirates get the victory, 42-30. We'll take a short break. We'll be back for some player reactions and more here on CCX.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
It's a full moon tonight here at Park Center High School, and boy, did it feel like it. We're standing by with some of the winners and offensive stars of this game. Let's go down to Tony Seaman. Tony.
That's right. Thanks a lot, guys. Park Center, first win of the season, first home game of the season. I'm here, one of the offensive threats of the night. I know Jamal Brown, senior quarterback, when he came over here, you said, man, I feel hyped. Let's talk about this. We'll talk about the emotions of the first win of the year.
Next week, man. We got a good team. We got camaraderie. We always talking about we believe in each other, and they believed in me. I didn't play a good first half, but it don't matter because we knew they couldn't stop us. We just had to do what we do, and we did that, and we won.
Offense in the first quarter, a big-time struggle for you guys. Yeah. What was the difference the last 3 to finally get the offense rolling?
I think it was just trust in each other and trust in the plays that's being called. Like, in the first quarter, I think I was overthinking things and a little slow on my reads. But then we made halftime adjustments, and we said we got to score 40, so let's score 40. Defense pick us up, we got to pick them up. So we good.
What does this do for Park Center to get that first win of the year? And a win like this where you're down, you're up, you're down, you're up. I mean, what's it do for the confidence for the rest of the season?
It feel good. Like, winning is contagious. So when you win, you know, you just want to win again, and you want to keep that feeling going. And I know we will because we got a good team, and we real humble, but we always hungry. So we gon' keep doing this. It's not just a fluke, all right?
Park Center, win number 1. Congrats, man. Now a man who needs no introduction, Emmanuel Tamba. Everywhere on the field, this kid was dominant. I mean, what did you eat this morning?
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs, that's the secret to an unbelievable game. I know the all-purpose yards through the roof for you tonight. I mean, did you feel like you were going to have a special game?
I was actually in a little bit of pain. I think my hamstring's a little tight. I was going in a little uncertain at first, but I owed it to my team. I owed it to my linemen. I owed it to the defense. I owed it to my coaches. I owed it to my mom.
So, I mean, when did you realize during the game, like, hey, man, tonight I got this? When did you know that it was going to start to click?
Well, after the first snap, I think I had a run for about 2 yards, and I was like, you know what? I think the nerves are out. I think we could really pound this team. And then my line just produced. They did more than you can ask for me.
First home game, you get the first win of the season for you guys, already tying the amount of wins you had last season. I mean, what's this going to do just for the momentum of the Pirates the rest of the year?
Oh, it's going to go straight through the roof. It's going to go straight through the roof. Our confidence is right now sky high. I mean, we still got things to work on, but we're going to celebrate this one tonight and just enjoy it.
Well, feel free to go celebrate. I won't keep you too much longer. All right, Park Center getting win number 1. Fantastic night, Friday Night Football. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Tony. Hey, a guy after my heart. He brings up his lineman and his mom.
And his mom.
I mean,
There
he
you go.
knocks them both out right there.
You got to. If running back doesn't say those five guys up front did the job, then he's in trouble.
All right, Park Center gets their first victory of the season. They win 42-30 here tonight over Richfield, and they'll be back in action next week against Coon Rapids. For our entire crew here tonight, for Tony, welcome to the team. For Bill Hunstaff, Joe Moline, thanks for watching High School Friday Night Lights football on CCX.